What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Naaackers, and today is Sunday, October 20th, 2019, and this is episode number 107. Today on the podcast, we have BishopGP, MiddleAgedStream, and KatiePetersPlays. Bishop, how you doing today, sir?
I'm amazing. I love you.
Oh my God. MiddleAgedStream, how are you?
What's crack-a-lackin', playa?
Hey, what's crack-lackin'? It's good to see you, buddy. You feeling okay?
I'm feeling good.
Getting the juices flowing? We're getting there?
We're getting going. We're getting
All
going.
right. All right, buddy. And Katie, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. We're going to get back to all these people in just a hot second. Just a couple notes for you as we get started. During the show, if you would like to ask a question to be answered during the Q&A during the end of the podcast, all you have to do is type !Q followed by your question in chat, and we'll get to that at the end of the show. Of course, if we're not live and you'd like to ask us a question, or if you'd like to submit some feedback or tell us a story about your childhood, I mean, that's always a thing too. Podcast at Naaackers. Something hit the back of my throat. Could have been a ham and cheddar hot pocket. It could have been saliva. I'm good now. Podcast at Naaackers.com. Also, lastly, if you enjoy the show and you'd like to see us thrive and you'd like to support us without spending a dime, please consider leaving a review for the podcast on iTunes. So first and foremost, we're going to go around the room, introduce you guys to everybody here, get you acclimated, and they'll tell you who they are and where you can find them online. So Bishop G Pizzle, who are you and where can we find you?
My name is Elliot, aka BishopGP. You can find me on Twitch at BishopGP or on Twitter at BishopWasHere.
My name is Jimmy, aka MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream, MiddleAgedStream on Twitter. Fucking character limits every time.
I'm KatiePetersPlays, and you can find me on Twitch and Instagram at KatiePetersPlays and play KatiePlay on Twitter. Also, because of character limits, I couldn't fit KatiePetersPlays on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Both.
Yeah, it's one character too long. Yeah.
Yep. Same here. Bullshit.
I don't know why, but your name doesn't seem as long as MiddleAgedStream, but yet it interesting.
I think we're probably the same characters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. By the way, you have such a clean, prominent voice. Like we all talked and it was like, oh, these raspy dudes. And then you talk, you have a fantastic voice. That obviously probably why you're into streaming.
Oh, no, thank you. I don't like my voice. Big surprise there. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Welcome.
I think we all hate our own voices.
Yeah, I
I
hear
think
myself.
that's fair to say. Yeah.
I cringe. It's an inward feeling of just disappointment every time I hear myself speak.
I just
Your
hate
voice-
Bishop's voice.
You know what? I love your voice, Jimmy. So if that makes you feel any worse.
Good, because I do too. I just hate yours.
I don't hate my voice, but I hate how absent to the fact of how loud I am. Like there are some times where people just look at me and I can tell that they are in, in like the beginning of Back to the Future 2 where Marty McFly like strums the guitar and it blasts them into another room. That's what I feel like some people feel like when I talk, and I can't help. I just talk loud. I talk in a normal voice. And so I think it's more the volume at which I speak that I'm uncomfortable with. It's not like that. I like hear my, you know what? I know I lied. I do hate my voice because now things are starting to come back to me of like the last time that I listened. Well, okay. Tangent. What, Katie, you get to go first. What don't you like about your voice?
It's deeper than I want it to be, and I feel like my laugh is weird, and I just don't like it.
Okay. All right, Jimmy.
I love my voice. So.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
So.
Oh, baby. Big Mac for Big
Golden
Daddy.
Arches? Are those golden arches right
Thank
there?
you, honey. My wife just brought dinner.
Nice.
From the Golden Arches.
ASMR.
Oh, that is ASMR. Very nice. All right, Bishop. Do you or do you not like your voice, and what don't you like about it?
I feel like when I listen back to my voice, I hate it more than when I'm talking. Like when I'm talking, it sounds a little bit more bassy to me, and I think everyone hears their voice a little bit different. But then I hear it back, and I'm like, "Hi guys, how's it going? I'm having a great time." Like I feel like I'm never gonna mature into having like an adult person's voice, and maybe that's just part of I don't know, being like in between a child and an adult constantly through my entire life, you know?
What part of your body or attribute
Nipples.
of your body? Are you sure you want to go with that answer before I finish the sentence?
I'll let you finish.
Would you give up in order to have said deep voice?
My nipples. No, I think I hit it right on the head.
You want to be the Kyle XY of nips?
I mean, I could just wear a shirt all the time. You know what I mean? Like if I take a shower, just wear a shirt, you know? Draw them on. Little art project every morning, you know?
Okay.
More has been done, and people shave their eyebrows and just paint them on. So I think I could pull it off with nipples. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, because
if I expend my eyebrows, I'm shit out of luck. Everything that I try to do in the public eye is ruined. So
You know how long it takes for eyebrows to grow back, by the way?
a long time.
It took like 6 months.
really,
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
I lost
how did you
one
lose an
eyebrow.
eyebrow?
Yeah.
Firework fight.
Wait, you can't just casually say firework fight and then you cry.
no, absolutely you can. That's standard. That's a standard thing with men. We just fight with fireworks if we have a
Yeah.
disagreement
So
on something.
I was 10 years old. I was living in Alaska at the time. And there was a birthday party at my friend Josh's house. I remember his name, Joshua Hodges. He was one of the coolest kids in school. And the reason he was cool is his dad owned a fireworks stand. Okay. So we went over to his house for his birthday. And it's the middle of winter. So it's, you know, tons of snow outside and everything else. And we're eating Doritos, playing some fucking Battletoads or some shit down, you know, in the game room. And anyway, he's like, all right, guys, here you go. And he like handed all of us kids a bunch of bottle rockets and Roman candles and everything else. And we go outside and we were supposed to just shoot them off. But, you know, we were 10-year-old boys. So we decided we were going to have a firework war with each other. And so we split into teams. There was like 20 of us. And we're just launching, you know, Roman candles and bottle rockets at each other. And it was awesome. And but one kid had you know, we're holding the Roman candles in our hands, which is totally not safe, but you know, we did it because it was fun. And we're launching, and he shot one and it hit me right in the face and it burned off my entire eyebrow.
Oh
So
my God.
I had one eyebrow for a while. It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Did-
Of course I was in trouble because I had to explain to my mom how I lost my eyebrow. And also explain why there were all these holes and burn marks on my clothes, you know, from where the other ones hit me too. So,
And now for the past 6 months, you've made up for it for having 4 eyebrows on your face.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mustache
there you go.
joke.
That's
As a
the story.
mustache, Yeah.
Yes, I got it. We doubled up.
So did you just roll with the one eyebrow? Did you try and draw it on? Did you try and like take some from one and glue it on the
I
other?
tried to Sharpie one on one time, you know, just to kind of see what it would look like. And then it was bad because then I had like smudge permanent marker on my eye. So it was a good look. I need to go back and see if I got any pictures from that. I'm sure there's a picture of me out there with just one eyebrow. I need to find it.
That would be amazing. Okay. So Bishop, would you give up your facial hair in order to have a deeper voice?
I don't know. I don't know. It makes me. I feel like there's not a lot of people that have a voice that sounds like mine. You know.
Okay.
I don't know if my voice is rare, but I feel like I don't hear other people that have similar voices to me. But I could be an idiot. You know.
Okay.
Just completely unaware.
My general voice, I don't mind, but when I hear myself talk, consonants seem to fall off sometimes, and I kind of like slur my words into each other. And it's not like a consistent slur, but there's just times where I say certain things, and then like words just like they just get molded together, and I say them as one, and that kind of pisses me off. But
I think I've done a few like for projects, video projects I've worked on. I've done voiceover before for those projects as like a preliminary thing. And I think anyone that's ever had to edit their own voice probably hates themselves because they sit there and they listen. And you're like, why can't you just separate these two words? Like, why do these words have to just like mend into one big heap of shit? And then like it comes out as like this, you know, it's like there's no in between the words. There's no space there. So,
okay. Two things I need to get off my chest. One is something that I learned recently, and the other one is just kind of a troll. First one, you are all now officially breathing manually. And two, there is no comfortable place for you to put your tongue. So good luck just thinking about that the rest of the podcast, okay?
Wait, what?
Just you're not
Breathing manually.
The joke went right over your fucking head, and I'm disappointed in you. The point is to make you cognizant that you're breathing, and then you start breathing manually because you're now no longer on autopilot.
Who's manual?
Damn it, Jimmy. Oh my God. Anywho. All right. So now that we got through intros. Okay. What are we drinking? Bishop, tell me. It better not be fucking lychees.
No, it's not lychee this time around. Surprisingly, I'm throwing a curveball at the.
Hold on.
Okay. Yep.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, do you know what lychee is?
It's a fruit, right?
Finally,
Wow.
someone with some goddamn class on this
Class.
podcast.
You kidding me?
On this
Nobody else knew what it was when he brought it
No
up.
one
The other,
else.
like,
Yeah, it's like
So-
a little
Yeah.
tiny orange fruit, isn't it?
I think it's white. It's like
Is it
clear.
white?
It's like white. Yeah. It's like
Okay.
it's you'll see it in Asian markets a lot. Like
Okay.
they have like a lot of like little lychee things. Oh, that's a Big Mac.
That's a Big Ma. Where's the
It's actually
C?
Big Ma. Yeah, there's no C on that.
where the
bar.
fuck? Who designed that goddamn cardboard?
Can you hold up the McDonald's bag too? They forgot to put the whole logo on the bag. It just like droops out. The designer's like, listen, guys, you're gonna pay me $200,000 a year, and I'm gonna do is shift all the shit over so you can't read it unless you look at the side of the package.
What is
Someone made a
that
lot of money
design?
Yeah, that's just literally shifting the shit over. Like, hey, we're gonna move the print. Everything is gonna be printed off to the side.
So confused.
It's 2019, man.
Oh my God. All right, what you drinking?
I'm drinking a White Claw. So your joke about my uncomfortable tongue went right over my head as I can't feel my tongue. So
Because of the White Claw?
the White Claw, I don't feel my tongue. I don't feel most things in my body right now. The White Claw has hit
Oh my God. Okay.
a lot of life.
For a second, I thought you had a medical condition that we had not discussed before. That your whole body was numb, like you were that guy from Deadpool, but no, it's just a White Claw taking over.
Yeah.
No, the point of the tongue thing is for you to now realize that you have a tongue in your mouth, and for you to be like, oh my God, where is the normal resting place of my tongue? And then you try putting it places, and then you just
Wait,
feel like
hold on.
getting
Start
larger and
from the
larger.
beginning. I think I'm missing this whole thing. So, like, you were talking about the tongue. Like, where does that come? I'm screwing with you. You don't have to.
Okay, thank God, because I didn't want to rewind that far.
I think we all get it.
Okay, thank you.
It's
Thank you.
like realizing that something is there. you know?
Yes, it's something
Yeah.
that's normally you don't think about,
Yeah.
like breathing manually
Yeah.
or
That one's the worst.
a tongue in your mouth.
Yeah.
You ruined it. Anyways, the middle-aged stream, other than the probably ice cold Coca-Cola you got, or did you not get anything to drink because
No, she brought me a Coca-Cola just because. So I got a little bit of Coca-Cola to wash down my Big Mac. I eat really healthy on the weekends, by the way. No, I am drinking. I'm almost done with this. This is a stout. I had to write it down because it's something a Buried Hatchet stout. It's not bad. I give it about a 3.75 out of 5. And then I've got this pale ale that's in my little cooler dealie.
oh Yeti?
Yeah. It's got some cool art on it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's
Nice. On there.
Sultan of the Rosella Droop,
Mm.
which is a really long name. Brewed with hibiscus and re-fermented with mango.
Again
it's
with
a,
the fermented.
I know.
Re-fermented,
Wow.
yes. It's actually pretty good. I had one or two of them last night, and I had a couple left over in my fridge, so I got that as my next one when I'm done with this stout. Be a nice little bit of stout, then a little bit of sour sweet.
What
Little
else
bit of
did you
mango
have last
juice,
night?
please.
Huh? What else did I have last night?
Yeah.
I had a breeze in my nether regions. Last night.
So are you deleting the VOD because you just wanted it to be like a one-time thing, or you just don't want that evidence out there in the world?
I mean, there's clips that I'll leave or whatever, but yeah, and also because I was dancing around to some music, like not for long, but like I know those portions of it. Anytime I have audio that's muted on a VOD, I always delete it.
Okay.
So I don't deal with copyright stuff and all that fun stuff. But
Well, to say, I think Twitch is pretty fair with, enforcing rules with, showing skin and stuff. So even if you were nervous about it, I'm sure Twitch wouldn't have anything to say.
oh no, I mean it wasn't too much. It was just there was enough. There was some. But
There is.
It wasn't anything. No, like I said, it was and usually too. I don't usually keep. Not that I drank too much, but I had a few drinks last night. So usually those VODs, and I'm playing Jackbox games. Those usually go in the old recycle bin. You know.
Okay. All right, Katie, what you got on your plate tonight?
Well, it's more of in a can. I have a rosé bubbles. It's Underwood, Oregon grown. So I don't know if you ever get that feeling to crack open a can of wine, which I should probably hear maybe some ASMR.
Ooh.
Good?
Oh,
Oh, that was good.
Wow.
There was why? There wasn't a pop. It fizzled and then it just
No
kind of.
carbonation. It's wine.
Yeah.
yeah.
God damn it!
Oh God.
Can you stop making me look so goddamn stupid?
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Oh,
Oh,
wait!
you
Can
put
you
that
show
in
the
glass.
camera that glass, please?
This
Oh
is
my God.
wedding crystal, and I was like, tonight's a
Ooh.
special occasion. We're gonna, yeah. So
That's good.
I feel like it's a little too much, but you know
What is
No,
a
no,
wedding
no.
crystal?
what?
What is a wedding crystal?
Okay, apparently I didn't know this, but when my husband and I got married, you're supposed to have like champagne crystal glasses. I'm from New York. It could be a New York thing. I don't know.
Who was in charge of gifting that to you, or did you have to buy it?
My mom bought it for me because my husband and I didn't want to buy it.
I don't know
Did
about
you-
you guys, but there's always red cups at the weddings I go to.
So now this is sitting in my closet or my cupboard that I just never have a reason to use it. And tonight I found a reason to use it.
I'm so glad we remind you of your mother. So
Crystal.
did your mother buy you one and then also bought your husband one?
Yes, we have
Okay.
a matching set, so I
Okay.
could double fist it technically. if I wanted to.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So rosés aren't. I'm not a wine person at all, right? Rosés are not reds, correct?
I won't lie. I'm not a wine person either. I just knew it looked good.
Hold on a second. You're trying to tell me that the person that's drinking wine out of a can is not a wine drinker?
I know.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Shocker.
Wait, can we pause
Shocking.
the podcast? You guys, we have to act like we're experts here. So let's just, as soon as Naaackers is ready, we're going to go back. We're all experts on everything we're drinking.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
just delete this part out, Van.
Yeah, just
okay?
delete. We're just going to cut this part out.
I can do
We're
that.
all experts.
Vans,
And go.
you heard it.
And
Can I see the design of the can again?
Yeah, it's kind of modern looking, which I like.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Kinda can't
Awesome.
see it, but
I like the typeface on that.
me too.
Okay, and how does it
Not a
taste?
condo. It's actually pretty good. It's it reminds me of like a Pinot Grigio. I have had that before. It's just
Mm.
got bubbles in it.
Okay.
Bubbles are good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in Portland, when we go to the like Whole Foods or whatever it is, when we go through the alcohol aisle, it's like or the candy bar aisle. It's all like pop art. Like all the labels are like, God, everything is so cool looking.
Yeah.
Like when I lived in Arizona, everything was like, oh, here's a Dos Equis and here's this and that, and it was all just like consistent with wherever else you go. But in Portland, everything is like a cool label. But I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
most stuff has to talk. Like I tried kombucha the other day, and I was like, wow, the label's amazing. Sipped it, and I was like, wow, this is dog shit.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I hated it. It was so gross. It was so
What?
gross.
What flavor was it?
It was. I didn't
Ass.
read the label, but I'm guessing urine and like feces. It was awful.
Not
It was
good.
awful.
I think I've had some cherry kombucha and lemon, and I, in general, like sour. How do we keep ending up on fermented items?
I was
But
gonna say,
very
it's another fermented
my-
item.
I don't know.
fermented
I'm an
pockets.
expert. I'm an expert at this. This is what I bring into the stream. I'm here on this podcast, so then there's one person that's more nervous than the other person that Naaackers brings in. That's that's my only role here.
Wait, are you nervous?
I'm sweating right now. I'm freaking out. I just can't handle this. This is going crazy right now.
Wait, you're 100% transparency. You're not nervous.
I'm always nervous when I come on the podcast.
Why?
I'm always nervous because that's just how I am, man. Like, look at how red my cheeks are getting.
Oh, you are cute though.
Thank you, Naaackers.
Jimmy, do you still get nervous? I love you too.
No, I wouldn't say I get nervous. I was definitely a little, I guess, anxious and more excited because we were talking about before the show. Like, I've known Katie for over 3 years on Twitch, and we've actually never really like talked aside from on Twitch chat and Twitter and stuff like that. So that was kind of looking forward to that. So
Yeah.
I was fangirling a little
He's
bit.
nervous. He's just had a beer or two.
Speaking of meeting, I have to confess, Katie, I saw you at TwitchCon and I didn't say hi.
Oh, my heart.
So you looked, first of all, this is going to be the total like cliche, like person sees streamer in public response where A, you look super, super busy. And then B, I was like, I don't know if she knows who I am. And
I would have recognized you.
right, but like the fear of going up to somebody, be like, "Hey, I'm this guy. I know Jimmy. I know this person," and then you just go, "Oh, I don't know who you are," and that fear unfortunately took over. And I'm like, "I'll see you another time," and then I didn't see you.
No, that's okay. I get nervous too at TwitchCon, but if anyone ever does see me, come say hi to me because I like meeting you all.
And
I would have loved to have met you.
I know, and it's the same thing happened to me when people said, "Oh, I saw you, but I didn't come say hi." I'm like, "Why the fuck not?" But now and then I just turned around and I did the same exact thing to you. So I'm sorry. I won't make the same mistake next time.
You don't need to apologize. TwitchCon's intimidating. I saw people too that I was like, I know them, but I'm not comfortable saying hello because I did the thing where I'm like, they're not going to know who I am. It's going to be weird. And then I just didn't do it. So.
And then you start changing the way that you approach people like, "Hi, I'm Katie."
Yeah, it's you adapt. You adapt and then I felt like it's hard when people are talking to other people and I feel like I'd be butting into conversations and be like, "Hi, just wanted to say hello." Okay, enjoy your conversation and like walk away kind of thing.
Like a Michael Cera.
It's weird too because you want to let somebody know, and I haven't been to TwitchCon, but I've been to large social gatherings, and it's like if somebody's talking to somebody else, you want them to know you want to talk to them, but obviously like you're trying to be polite and not interrupt. But then it gets kind of awkward if you're kind of standing next to them and they're talking to each other and you're just kind of standing there. Yeah, exactly. Like a bitch doing on camera. Yes.
Or if you're terrible at like speaking at the right time when other people are talking and you just get a bunch of
All starts.
I'll see ya.
See, you guys have it all wrong. I've been taught by professionals, if you go to TwitchCon, don't talk to any streamers. I feel like if you make direct eye contact with streamers, they freak out. And then they come at you like a pack of chupacabras and they go for your throat. That's what I've been taught.
What? Who did you hear that from?
From streaming expert websites.
Yeah.
Was it
Like
Streaming 101, the El Chupacabra? Oh, wait. The is L. I don't know. The Chupacabra. Katie, tell me if you feel the same way. And I can't remember if I expressed this live or not, but being at TwitchCon, and even though the world of Twitch is vast with hundreds of millions of people that stream, right? Isn't it like 100 million plus or something?
I think it's 1 billion now.
I think it's 100 billion.
Wait, okay. You did that really well. Isn't it in the hundreds of millions of people that like have streamed on Twitch? It's something like that. It's millions. Do you feel like when you go to TwitchCon, you realize how small the TwitchCon world is, even though it's only a portion of people that are there, obviously, because they can only sell so many tickets and only so many people can afford to fly and all that stuff. But do you feel like the Twitch world in itself is extremely, extremely small? Like you see all of these people hanging out with each other and spending time and you're like, whoa, I can't tell if I'm on the inside of this bubble or the outside of this bubble, but I see the bubble.
Yeah, there's definitely cliques and there's definitely groups of people that move together around the convention and stuff. But I knew a lot more people than I thought I did. Like,
yes.
And it wasn't as like vast as other conventions I've been to. I mean, I've been to San Diego Comic-Con. That's like insane. This is very much like very compact. And seeing it at the convention center in San Diego, I was like, it's a smaller world. And I think a lot of people know each other and it's a lot of crossover.
Well, are there parts of the convention center that were not being used for TwitchCon that were being used for the Comic-Con?
Oh yeah, that whole convention center is used for San Diego Comic-Con. Because I know during TwitchCon, there's like this small businesses convention going on.
That's
too.
right. Okay.
Yeah, there were a couple other conventions happening at the same time as TwitchCon, and they were only using like one portion of the building for it.
Interesting. Oh, hello, Kat. Thank you. You are so great. He was just screaming outside the door. This is what happens when I let him in. Say hello. Oh.
He's so cute.
Are you angry? He looks kind of angry. Hi, buddy.
I feel
Okay.
like that's what cats always look like. Just pissed off.
Just
ready to
pissed
kill
off.
people.
Cats always have resting bitch face.
Yeah, they do. It's true.
Well, speaking of okay, first, before we get on all that stuff, Katie, I wanted you to take a quick second to kind of expand on yourself about like what you do on Twitch and kind of the stuff you're involved in. I wanted you to give yourself a chance to kind of like talk about what you do. I, for one, would love to learn a little bit more about you. So the floor is yours. Spend as little or as much time as you like.
Oh goodness, no pressure.
No pressure.
I stream on Twitch. I work full time, so I stream 3 days a week. I do sci-fi and horror games. And I also do tabletop RPG. So I do a lot of D&D, and I do a horror show every Wednesday called Nocturne, which is a dice game, but it's horror, which is my kind of thing. But which I like because I like horror. Okay, I'll stop saying that. But yeah, I do a lot of crazy things on Twitch. I like to have variety, but I stick mainly to sci-fi and like scary games and stuff like that.
I saw that you were just doing another show, what, an hour or so before this?
Yeah, I did. It's a tabletop show called Dying Order. I play a tiefling on it. I never thought I would ever... I only got into D&D like a year ago.
Okay.
I never thought I would be into it as much as I am. But I dress up as tiefling every single Sunday. I put horns on and I play D&D campaign. So
Okay.
Yeah.
You did get a little quiet there. I wasn't sure if it was just me that your levels had dropped.
I'll turn up my mic.
Oh, it's too much.
Oh god, too much. Oh god. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's better. That's good right there.
Okay.
Good right there.
Okay. It's not gonna touch it again.
That was perfect. So that was going to be one of my questions, was if you had gotten into D&D. Is D&D a big thing outside of streaming as well?
For me?
Just on a grand scale. Like, I had never heard of D&D until Twitch, and I didn't even know that whole world existed.
Hundreds of billions of people play.
It's
D&D
huge.
daily.
Hundreds of billions.
Yeah.
Trillions.
Trillions even.
It is popular. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a pretty big industry, and it's. I was an outsider looking in on it for so long. Like, I never understood it. And then when I played it, I was like, oh, I was missing this in my life, kind of thing. So, yeah. And
Kinda
there's
like-
rule sets for everything. Like, you could play in any sort of world or any sort of sandbox that someone could create.
Do you find it hard to keep up with if you have, like, do you have multiple, what do you call them? Clans? Boards? Like, worlds? What?
Like, I'm in 2 separate campaigns right now. I've
Campaigns.
done some one shots, which is just like a singular episode that you create characters one time for. You do like 1 3-hour session, then it's done. You never go back to it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I actually ran for the first time this year. I ran a session, which was horrifying, but it was like we raised the channel I did it on is called Table Story. They raised $5,000 for St. Jude, and I was the prize. I got to like run a campaign, or not a campaign, a one shot, and I was so nervous, but it went well. And that was just like a life goal of mine because I wanted to see if I could actually do it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm in 2 campaigns right now. I've done a campaign prior. I have like a resume of tabletop shows I've been on.
No way.
Yeah, so it's a whole world that I didn't know existed.
It's something that I don't know if I'm interested in. I haven't dabbled in, and I haven't really been a spectator of it either. If you were to talk to somebody who didn't know what D&D was, and you were to describe it in a way that would intrigue them to check it out, what would you say?
Oh boy. So I feel like I'm not going to sell this, but the story is dictated by how dice is rolled. So if you get a good dice roll, good things happen. If you get a bad dice roll, bad things happen. So the story is played in part due to chance. And so then the players have to act out or role play the story based on the luck that they have that day. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's like storytelling, but with essentially dice that tells the story and dictates the path of it.
Okay.
I wonder if I wonder if there's a Michael Scott of the D&D world where so the dice are rolled and like it shifts the momentum of the story, and he just pitches it in the entire way. And he's like, I'm secretly a secret agent. I have a gun, and he starts shooting people. You know, like I wonder if there is someone in the D&D world that is that
I'm
person.
sure. But there is like someone runs the show usually, and they can shut someone down pretty quickly if they're trying to be like, I've been keeping this gun in my back pocket the entire time. And they go like, no, you never had a gun. And so
I'm not laughing at the Michael Scott thing or that little aside there. I was just in my head, I just thought if you went to a playground with the people you play D&D with, you could literally slide into your DMs.
You could.
Literally.
The dad jokes are strong today.
That was a good one, though.
I was chuckling to myself. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to let this one out. All right, so go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Have you ever D&D'd with someone that you like halfway through it, you said to yourself, I'm fucking miserable because the person that I am working with right now is giving me nothing and is constantly pulling out a gun?
Luckily not. I've been
really?
I've had a lot of really cool people that I've been able to work with. A lot of like Twitch streamers too, that I never would have probably had a chance to even talk to before doing this. So it's, I don't know. I've been very lucky to be a part of things with people who go full tilt. Like it's not people holding back, being like too shy to do things. Like people are just like, I'm in this. We're gonna role play this out. And I think that makes it more rewarding because, like, it could go the other direction, be like super awkward and very uncomfortable. And I've luckily never felt that.
Okay. Have you done any D&D outside of Twitch? Like now that you have taken on this new hobby within the streaming realm, have you gone outside of Twitch to do it as well?
I tried it one time. Like when my husband and I and a couple people from my community were like, let's just like see how this goes. And that was before I did anything on Twitch, but that's the only time I've ever done it. It's all pretty much streamed on Twitch now. And I don't think I have like time to do a campaign in real life, unfortunately. I do 2 campaigns now and I'm like, if I added a third, I think I might die.
Right. Is that a once a week kind of deal?
One is on Wednesdays and then one is on Sundays. And so they're each 3-hour blocks. Okay.
All right. Last question, and then I'll stop grilling you. When you started, how long have you been streaming on Twitch for?
I think it's probably 3.5 to 4 years now.
Awesome. Did you start with the same kind of subject matter and theme as you are now, or has your show kind of evolved into what it is now?
It's definitely evolved. I started on my couch in the living room with a really crappy headset. I used my phone to read chat. I had a PlayStation 4 camera. It was pretty, like, I look back because I have some of them saved on YouTube and I'm like, oh God, these are memory lane. And I've slowly, like, I moved into this office and like, you can see like the evolution of how piece by piece I've been able to build it up. I wasn't always at like Space Sharks. I have Space Sharks on my stream. That's just a random thing I'll drop in here. But that was never a thing from the beginning. I started streaming as a hobby and then it just kind of grew from there. And now it's what it is today, I guess.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving us some of the backstory. It's one of my favorite parts about bringing new people on the show is you get to kind of hear where they're from and what they're about. And I think you're probably the first person that is a serious D&D'er that I've had on. So it's always something that I've been intrigued by, but never anything that I've ever kind of like pursued in being on or spectating.
I say if you ever get a chance to try it, it's worth at least trying once.
Okay.
Then you can see if you like it.
Okay.
Because I honestly, I was like, I could hate this. I just took a gamble on it and I was like, oh my God, this is fun. So yeah, it's worth a shot.
And that's the best too, when you encounter something that you think that you're not going to like, and then you dip into it and you're like, oh shit, this is actually kind of really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that plays into a lot of role-playing things like GTA RP. I was like, as a kid, I played World of Warcraft a ton, but I never really got into the RP or like the role-playing element that much. And I used to see people doing it and like having weddings and setting stuff up. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I wish I knew what was happening over there. But then I played GTA RP, having played Grand Theft Auto. I mean, pretty much everyone has played Grand Theft Auto. So it's like an entryway into trying out RP. But I remember trying it. And at first I was like, wow, this is kind of weird. But then you like you start buying it, right? Like you start believing that it's real. And then
Mhm.
eventually, like I had to stop playing GTA RP because I was taking it too seriously. Like I was like getting upset about the things that were happening in the game. And I was like, why is this happening to me? So I was offered to play D&D a few times. And I've said, not that I've said no, I'm just like, I don't know if that's really my thing. And I feel like Naaackers, maybe you're the same way, but it's like, I don't know if that's like I like fantasy stuff. Like I play WoW. Like I like the fantasy worlds. I love Skyrim, Oblivion, any Elder Scroll game, but I don't really understand. Like my dad used to paint like the small I don't think you call them creatures, but like little
Warhammer.
The little items, right? Like he used to paint like the characters back
miniatures,
in the day.
like miniatures.
Yeah, the little miniatures. Yeah, he used to be into that as a guy that looked like Jimmy with longer hair. That's so it's interesting. Like I've always wanted to try D&D, but maybe next time I get offered, I'll be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. One of the things that's interesting about it though is like it's not just D&D, like you don't have to play an orc or a wizard. Like I've been in a Judge Dredd campaign where I played a perp. And I played a clone hacker, and it was a really funny campaign. Like it was very comedic based, and that was one of my favorite things I've ever done. And the horror show I do on, it's in this world that a friend of mine, Pumpkinberry, created, and it's based in modern times. So like you can find any sort of world to play in. It doesn't have to be like Lord of the Rings-esque if that's not your cup of tea.
Oh, so you can set everything up. There's not these defined worlds or universes where like, okay, we kind of have to exist within this and play it off. Is that your job as the headmaster? What's the name of the person that runs it?
If you're doing Dungeons and Dragons, it's a dungeon master. If you're doing any kind of game, it's just game master. So when I did mine, I was a GM and I did a space horror. So it was set in space on a derelict ship. And so like I created I would have loved to have played the game that I created, but it was really fun to see other people experience that. I was trying to not say a spoiler. And so in case anybody's interested, it's on YouTube, but it's you can create any sort of world. It's called homebrewing. Like you can homebrew.
Oh, okay.
What you like. Yeah.
Is it against homebrew laws to kind of use the same setting twice? To like to like run the same environment again, but with different characters or different.
I don't think it's whatever you want it to be. Like if you were like, I want to run these 4 friends through it, and then you want to see how these 4 friends react to it, you could definitely do that.
Okay.
Especially if you're Bishop, man. There ain't no laws when you're drinking claws.
Hey, this is true.
That is true. I feel like a lot of people that I speak to, like there's the whole meme around claws, but like I've tried them a few times. They're just whatever. They're whatever. I like Dos Equis. I used to have this whole meme on my channel where when we'd play Fortnite, if we win, we'd have a Dos Equis, and I miss that. And White Claws kind of taste like it just tastes like sparkling water at the end of the day. And I get why people.
It's basically Zima 2019 is what.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Zima.
Yeah, that was something from back in the 90s. They re-released him a few years ago, but it was like, it's like kind of like the sparkling. And
of course,
to add flavor, people would put like a Jolly Rancher in them. But now,
baby,
of course, you just have the flavored drinks.
So when you said Zima, you made me think of. You guys remember when like multi-level marketing groups were super fucking popular? There was a drink. Like an energy drink in a can called Bishop. You know it. You sound like you fucking know it.
So they used to sponsor the Suns, the basketball team in Arizona where I lived, and I can't remember the name of it. But everyone that I used to know from high school that was a dumb fuck, they would all be like, "Hey, I'm getting my BMW. My BMW is coming." And
I'm gold. I'm platinum. I'm diamond.
Hold on. It sounds like Zima. Yeah, you're right. I can't remember what it's called.
Vima. It's Vima.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, just for reference, none of those people have a BMW. So
no, none of them. Even the dude, I remember the leading guy from Vima who used to do all the speeches on stage and shit, all the keynotes. I think he had some lawsuit issues, and I think that he left the company. Katie, Jimmy, did you ever have any friends that got into these multi-level marketing where you like get a group of your friends together, you sit them in the living room, and then you give them the speech about how like if you find 5 people and they find 5 people and we're all gonna get rich?
Isn't that Twitch?
I hate honestly, multi-level marketing. I have a family member that is a multi-level marketer. So I it's always like I always get annoyed, like, you know, when they're trying to get send out those messages or whatever to, like, you know, like my wife or whatever to get to buy stuff. I'm just like, just block it. My wife's always super nice. I'm like, no, you're not buying any more shit, you know? So yeah, no, I haven't personally, but I do know all about them.
Okay.
Thanks to, yeah.
I had a friend. This is more, I mean, me directly, it's always been someone who's like a stranger. Like, I was getting coffee once at like 8:00 at night because I was doing that. And this lady just started talking to me and I was like, oh, she's being so nice and friendly. And then she tried to sell me like ketogenics or something like that. And I was like, I'm good. I don't need your powder in a tube thing. Thank you.
Yeah, no thanks.
But my friend said she went out to lunch and she thought she was making like a new friend and stuff. And then at the end of the lunch, she's like, well, I'm selling my makeup. Here's my card. Do you want to come to my like makeup
party?
My party? And she was so like heartbroken because she's like, I thought we had it was like a friend date. Like,
yeah.
a new friend. And then she slid the card over for her multi-level marketing makeup business. And then she's like, also, is she trying to tell me that I need makeup? Like, I don't know. It's just. Yeah.
So I didn't know this at the time, but back in the day, my mom used to take me to my aunt's house where they would do like mom parties. Now, I know what you're thinking. Gangbang. Not what was going on. We're very religious. We love Jesus. Okay. So we would go there. All the kids would be forced into the basement to play with each other. And then all of the moms would go upstairs.
Story's sounding worse. This story's sounding worse and worse.
The door was locked until 9 p.m. and it wasn't until after 9 p.m. It was weird because like we would always come upstairs and it would always smell like Lysol, like everything had just been cleaned. And we never understood why. Anyway, I'm lying. But anyways.
It was a gangbang.
It was kind of a gangbang.
Your mom just lied to your ass.
It was for essential oil parties where they had an MLM person that would come to the house. And my aunt, I swear to God, she was so behind these essential oils. Now, granted, I believe that a lot of them are great, but the ones that are like, you know, put on your forehead and your dementia will go away. I'm sorry, but that's not happening. But for the ones that are like peppermint, I grew up with, probably should have been diagnosed with the disease for how many canker sores that I had growing up. I would get them and they would stay for weeks, sometimes months. I would get multiple and it was really bad time. But there was this one essential oil that I would put on it and it would heal it like within a couple days. And out of all of the over-the-counter medications that I bought and tried, none of them worked, but this one gangbang oil did. And haven't had it in a while, but so whenever your mom says, hey, we're going to an MLM party, and if she says that the basement door is going to be locked for a few hours, you better start asking some questions.
Yeah, that's iffy, man.
Oh man, good times. All right, so kind of it's been an hour. See, this is what I was talking about, Katie, is we start the show and we all write our things that we want to talk about in the script. And then we talk about fermenting things and lychees and we just don't even get to it. And
you find out the Naaackers was locked in the basement for hours by his mom while they tested oils on each other.
Does it make it better or worse that everyone was Jehovah's Witnesses? Does that make you question anything anymore? Oh, man. Okay, so TwitchCon was fucking a month ago at this point, and we actually haven't had a group show since then. I've had a couple 1v1 podcasts, but we haven't had a group show since TwitchCon, and they announced a shit ton. And I can say, as somebody who sat in the crowd and was applauding like a madman while they were announcing things, holy shit, was all of that stuff sugar-coated, and did it not end up as great as they thought it was, or as they said it was going to. So we kind of have a bunch of things to talk about regarding TwitchCon. So if we want to talk about things that are not related to TwitchCon, Bishop, I see that you have something that you wanted to touch on. I know we were just talking about gangbangs, and now you have something called the Fortnite Black Hole.
You really sparked my my interest zone. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So to speak. I didn't go to TwitchCon. I've always met, I've always wanted to, but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot of drinking the Kool-Aid. Like it's a bunch of people that are a part of the industry. Like I've been to so many conferences. I've been to NAB. I've been to CES. I've been to like hundreds of different conferences in the time that I was working in my professional life, and I'm still young, and like probably like 5 or 6 a year. And I understand going and getting everyone together. I'm sure it's like my whole interest in TwitchCon is going and meeting people like Jimmy or like Naaackers or like Katie. Like meeting people that I've seen before, or that, hey, like just add it to the list. Hey, how's it going? But like meeting people that have been in my chat that can put a face to the username. That's always been interesting to me. But at the same time, like if I was to imagine, and I've seen some stuff like with game developers going to TwitchCon looking for influencers and stuff like that, and then also brands that are looking for influencers. I see that a lot, but I've heard and I've never been, so I can't really talk about it, but I've heard that if you're really not a partner, you're pretty much kind of on the back burner for a lot of the stuff that's going on there, right? And it's kind of just like an amalgamation of people just trying to get in the door. And I've seen that at like E3. Like I've been to E3 5 or 6 times, and if you're just going to check stuff out, there's not a lot for you to do there. Like if you're going to go sit in line for like 4 hours to play the new Call of Duty, that that's great. But it's, to me, like the gaming industry really misses out on the opportunities there. And that's just me speaking from going to E3. So I haven't been to TwitchCon. I'll probably end up going next year. Okay. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's kind of like if you go back to like the Vema thing and talking about, like these pyramid scheme things, it seems like if you're a business and you go to TwitchCon, like you're looking for all these influencers, there's so many people on Twitch that are not annoying, but like trying to just do it for sponsorships and trying to find ways to, and I'm sure we've all seen these people like it. Like I used to play Fortnite back in the day, right? And I'm sure that you guys have tickled your way through a Battlegrounds match or two, but the side of Fortnite that really sucks is the people that are just on Twitch just to, like in the Battlegrounds games, they're just trying to make it on Twitch, and then they're just like trying to claw their way to the top. And I feel like me going to Twitch or to TwitchCon, it wasn't really the best decision over the past 2 years. But I don't know. There's a lot of people that I dislike that are in that kind of.
So really, you don't go to TwitchCon because you hate everyone.
Right.
Yeah, I pretty much. That's the best way to describe it. I hate everyone. I don't want to see anyone.
So, Katie, I have to ask you this, not to seclude you, Jimbo, but you just did go to TwitchCon. I wanted you to go to TwitchCon.
Someday.
One day.
Someday I will.
One day,
Jimmy
buddy.
goes, I'll go. How about that, Jimmy? Let's make a blood pack.
All right.
When you go, I'll go.
I want in.
Yeah. We're gonna eyebrow pack. You gotta burn your eyebrow off with a firework.
Look, if we all get our blood, and then we get 3 people to give their blood, and they get 3 people to give their blood.
That's true. We're gonna have a blood bank. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of blood, my guy.
That's a lot of blood. Yeah. Katie, I don't know how much perusing of Twitter you did while you were at TwitchCon. I saw so many people raging at how some people, mostly partners or companies, would walk up to somebody, start talking, look down at their badge, see that they weren't a partner, and then immediately stop conversation. And my first thought was, bullshit. I don't think that happens, but I have no proof.
I mean, I didn't get much time on Twitter when I was at TwitchCon, just because I mean, this sounds like I was doing so many things. No, I didn't have time to check Twitter, and also 4G sucked whenever you're in a group of so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I would check it mostly at night, but I did see those posts, and I didn't get on the floor that much, mostly because the floor didn't have that much this year that I felt. It was just a lot of like energy drinks and things like that.
Yeah.
But I never encountered someone who had that experience. So I'm not sure the verification of that or not.
Okay. Because I when I read something like that, I think to myself, there's no way in this environment where we're all known for being so warm and welcoming and friendly, that there's somebody that walks up to you and just goes, and then turns away. So I feel like Bishop, I feel like it's embellished a little bit, and just kind of like another reason for the people that are down below per se to look up and kind of like shake the pitchforks at. I saw a lot of that kind of going on social media while I was at TwitchCon. I'm like, man, this is really disheartening because
there's a lot of drama at TwitchCon this year. I
there
feel
were-
like.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I saw most of it after I left, and I was like, I don't know. I just thought every time there was something on Twitter, somebody was mad about.
Right, right.
Mhm.
And the way that you feel, how it's you're like, wow, I was at the same event you were at, and I didn't experience any of the things that you did.
Mhm.
Why is that? Is that because of I am my true, genuine self when I'm on stream and when I'm off? Do I choose the correct people to hang out with? Do I choose not to hang out? Like, all those things kind of spiral into the bigger picture where, you end up in situations where maybe you're not hanging out with the greatest of people and for the wrong reasons.
I remember, oh God, was it 2017 was my first, whatever the first San Diego TwitchCon I went when I was just a little baby couch streamer. And I remember talking to companies like Elgato and even some game developers, and they were always at that point there were no affiliates, but they all took time to listen to me and hear me out and take my business card and give me the time of day. And it never felt like, oh God, I don't want to talk to her. She's not a partner or anything. I don't know if there's been a shift in the way the conventions have been over the years or not, but
Right.
I mean, I've always had very positive experiences with companies and stuff. I haven't always been a partner, so I've had both experiences, and I didn't see any of that firsthand.
Okay. Yes, Daddy.
Have any of you guys on the panel, if that's what we're going to call it, have you guys ever worked for a company at a convention before?
Hmm.
No.
So I have done it a few times. Conventions are literally the worst thing ever when you work for a company. Like I've worked for a company at SEMA before, at NAB, which is a broadcast convention, and the amount of people, and I'm sure Twitch is like TwitchCon is probably even worse than this, because you have to imagine the amount of people trying to make it. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but in my experience working at conventions, the amount of people that come up to you and bug you about business opportunities and potential and all of this and sponsorships, especially at SEMA, people in the racing industry just want to get money so they can run race cars. I'm sure for the businesses that are at, because what Naaackers is referencing is someone, let's say Joe Schmo, who's an affiliate, he's got 10 concurrent viewers or 20 concurrent viewers. He's going up to G Fuel and trying to sign a deal. The amount of people that show up and ask you for those sponsorship opportunities, it's probably 1,000 people a day at that booth, right? And it's insane because the businesses are there just to get their eyeballs on their product or what's coming out, or to sign up people that potentially have a legitimate following that they can sell to, because that's what advertisers give a shit about, right? So having worked at a convention, and with a lot of people on Twitch, you have to imagine that a lot of these people haven't experienced that. They haven't been to conventions as someone that's trying to buy something or to sell something or to be in a business-oriented relationship with a sponsor. I'm sure there's people that have walked up to someone that's been pestered, like that's worked in one of the, like for G Fuel, that's been pestered 1,000 times by people wanting a brand deal, and they walk up to you, and you as an affiliate, you have to realize that you haven't and obviously partners are the priority on Twitch and for a lot of these brands that are coming in, because partners in most circumstances, unless they're a partner through an organization or through playing for a pro team, they have viewership. It's like a fast way to in the eyes of a sponsor, even though partnership doesn't equal viewership. We all know that, right? Like that's been a big thing on Twitter for the past few weeks. But it's an easy way to vet out who currently has viewership or has some sort of value to give to the brand. And I'm sure if if you're working in the booth of G Fuel and you have 1,000 Fortnite streamers come up to you that are affiliates, you can't give them all brand deals. So I'm sure there's a lot of people complaining on Twitter. We're potentially trying to get their shoe in the door with a developer, a game developer, someone that is offering a product like one of these energy drinks, and they want to get discounts, they want to get things, freebies to get for giveaways for their channel. But in reality, if it doesn't have any ROI or any potential of an ROI for that person that's standing there in the marketing team that's trying to find these affiliates or partners to run with their products, they're probably it's not a personal thing, but in reality, you just haven't built your brand to have that impact that the product or the company is looking for, right?
Sure.
And I'm sure that over time, as you stand on that floor all day long and your feet are killing you, and that's ultimately when you go to a show, the first day is fantastic, and that's the best day to have any deal go down, and then later on in the week, like the next few days, you go and you solidify that deal. But the first day is the best day to go there and speak to sponsor, partner, whatever it is, product, or anyone in the marketing world, because by the time they've stood on the floor for 2 or 3 days, they hate their lives and they just want to go home.
Right.
So,
yeah. Oh, such long days. Holy moly.
It's ridiculous. It's like 8 hours that you're standing there talking to, 100 different, and if you worked at G Fuel, I'm assuming, right? If I put my shoes in, or myself in the shoes of someone that worked at G Fuel, you'd probably talk to 5, 6 people per hour that are trying to come up to you to bug you about getting a G Fuel, like creator code or whatever they call it. So you can sell tubs to your community, and the amount of time that you have to spend there, and like if you have a quota, if you're a sales guy, you can't sit and talk to every Fortnite streamer that wants to, that wants to make it or have their own flavor. So
right.
I'm sure a lot of that comes from that. And I think a big piece of, TwitchCon, the reason I don't go there is that I don't really see a lot of value from my own perspective as a streamer to go there. Cause it's not like there's certain people in my audience that are also streamers that are going to meet with each other. And I always talk to Casey about this. Like, we sit down and we're thinking about it. We're like, do we want to go to TwitchCon? We're like, we don't really give a shit about going to the convention because there's nothing there for us. What we all care about going there for, or what Casey and I care about going there for, is to meet people, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have to go to the show floor to do that. So for me, like, I don't really want to make a brand deal with someone that's going to TwitchCon. Like, it's just not my interest. I don't really have the audience to be able to negotiate. But I think that the average streamer probably also doesn't understand how to communicate that, or the best opportunity and places to do that. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that complain about brands turning them down, but in reality, it's just because the people that are working there get pestered for hours about it,
Well, if you're on the fence, what I would tell you is to ask my friend Bourbon how his time at TwitchCon was, because he is a gamer. He does not stream. He hangs out in Twitch chat. But his original conversation with us was, I want to go to TwitchCon because I want to hang out with you guys. But like, I don't want to go and you guys like be getting swarmed by people and us waiting in line to go meet other streamers. And I'm like, that's not how it is at all, really. I'm like, first of all, you think we're way more popular than we actually are. And second of all, we spend not that much time on the floor just kind of putzing around. It's about like spending time at the house or the hotel or going out to eat and hanging out with the people. So it's the same reason why I don't bring business cards to TwitchCon, is because I personally, for me and what I want out of Twitch, I don't see it as valuable to go to TwitchCon and try to make business connections, right? I'm specifically going to TwitchCon to hang out with people, to meet people that have been in my community. And that's just personally how I see it. So if you're ever like, will I have fun at TwitchCon? Ask Bourbon, because he had the same exact mindset you did. And spoiler alert, he had a fucking blast. It was awesome, dude.
See, and it's like next year they're going to Vegas, right? Is that what the plan is?
No, San Diego again.
San Diego? Oh, I heard it was Vegas. I've been lied to.
No, Amsterdam in a couple months or 6 months or so, and then back at San Diego. And they kind of hinted at the fact that San Diego was going to be the home of TwitchCon. And with Katie, with you saying that the whole convention center was not for TwitchCon, makes me think of, okay, in future years, maybe they will expand to like another piece of the convention center. And then maybe one year they'll have the entire fucking thing. It did seem disproportional, like how they laid out the entire thing and how much space was dedicated to lines and badges and how much space was dedicated to the floor. So definitely some room for improvement there.
They should just make it into a... Go ahead.
So, I never went to this. I went to Long Beach. San Jose wasn't good.
It was just the line management. Some people on that Friday didn't even get in till the evening to the floor because of bad. It was honestly a cluster right out in front.
Oh my God.
It's like a safety hazard, if you ask me. I've been to conventions that are very well organized, and I have to say, just because I think San Diego has it down pat because of all the conventions that go through there, it was so much smoother this year than past years I've been to. But Yeah, I don't know. I've always gone to TwitchCon with the goal of I want to meet my community.
Mhm.
And if I can do cool things while I'm there, that's awesome. But I very rarely spend time on the floor talking to companies.
Yeah.
And because I know like what you said about them all, people like hundreds of people go up to these booths and just
Pester
harass
them,
people. Pester
Yeah.
them all day. Here's my business card. Like I've made some connections at conventions, but the most part of how I've worked with brands,
Mhm.
it's been not at TwitchCon. It's been through other means and
We have the internet.
the
Locked
internet.
basements
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Locked
oil.
basements and oils. And no, it's there's just other ways to do it. You don't have to go to TwitchCon with the mindset of I'm here to make brand deals and grow my
Yeah.
stream. It's for making connections with people, but all different kinds of people, not just I don't know, that brand over there that I've always wanted to work for. You're going to be turned down a lot. It's just part of this whole industry. You got to be ready for rejection.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I think the
Speaking
San
of-
Jose, because I go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we were talking about rejection. I've never really had any sort of
Rejection at all.
No, I've had plenty of that, but I've never had any desire to go out and seek any sort of sponsorship for anything because I use a variety of all types of different products, and I don't feel like and not to mention it's not like I have a very large audience either. So I would imagine I'm not super attractive person to get a sponsorship to. However, with that being said, there is a local craft beer company that I'm planning on reaching out to soon. And it's because I actually know one of the guys that is like one of the co-owners. And I'm gonna set up a meeting and see if I can maybe get a beer sponsorship. Because that'd be right on brand anyway. What I
100% on brand.
Can't hurt to ask. But like I was just thinking to myself, man, I've never in my whole life and in my Twitch life ever asked for any sort of. I'm like, that's just not, But a beer that I drink, and you know how I love
Hell
beer.
yeah.
I think that'd be at least be worth asking.
Hey Jimmy, hit me up. I'll help you write your deal. How about that? I'll help you out with that. I used to work for a camera company that was sold action cameras. I'm sure you can probably guess one of those companies. But it's funny because working in the motorsports industry, the thing that I learned, and anybody that's watching that's a streamer, and this is the reason that I don't go to TwitchCon to make deals, and I wouldn't go to TwitchCon to make deals. And it's good to heal. Like my whole vision and like my idea of what TwitchCon is was the San Jose one, and because that was the second year that I was streaming, and like the first time that I was actually considering going, and I saw a bunch of stuff coming out of it. And I'm sure that you see more negative than positive in most events, right? But I didn't want to go because it's like what I learned from motorsports is that the worst place to go to seek sponsorship is where all of the other motorsports people are going. If you can't compete with those people, like you're going to basically be in a sea of the people that are the exact same as you. If you want to find sponsorships and partnership deals, the best place to do them is in a place that you wouldn't expect it. Like I used to go to NAB, which is this broadcast convention that they sold, big broadcast cameras and these robotic systems for drones and just all kinds of stuff like that to sell. We used to produce like short pieces of content, animated content that displayed what the video was, right? Or I would go get a partnership. We were shooting motorsports content for one of our drivers, and we'd go out and I'd go to NAB, which has absolutely no connection to the automotive world. It's not SEMA, and we would sell ad deals to companies that are selling, camera products, because what we would do is we'd go and we'd film something that's motorsports oriented, where typically in the broadcast world, all of the technology is really boring, but the stuff that you can shoot with it is really cool. So if you sell motorsports and fast cars and fast action to these technology companies, you can sell the content back to them, right? So in Jimmy's case, you have a relative, you have a relative product. You drink beer on your stream. I guarantee you, if you go and you sit down with the people that run the marketing teams, they probably have no idea what streaming is, and they don't know why there's an impact there. But if every time that you sit down and you stream, you're not going after a business that knows about streaming. But if you go and you talk to them about streaming and how, in most cases, let's say you have a 10% return on the amount of people that come and watch your stream that are over 21. If you promote something like, hey, I just had a great beer that is called Underwood or wine, and 10 people out of your stream go and purchase that out of the store, that's a successful ROI for them, because they're probably not going to invest an insane amount on you. But do you know what you get out of it? You get free beer.
Free
right?
beer.
You get free wine. You don't have to spend any money.
Yeah.
But you're also looking outside of the channel. I guarantee you those people have never looked at Twitch. They probably have never looked at streaming in general. You're going somewhere completely different because there's some sort of relation to you and what you do as your channel. You're not your main core piece of content isn't drinking beer, but you do it pretty much every time that you're streaming. You have a something that you're drinking that you promote to everyone. You tell them what you're drinking, and then people in chat tell you about that. So for anyone that's a streamer that's interested in sponsorship, don't go to TwitchCon to look for that. And I know that you guys, everyone in here, I just want to go and meet people in the community. That's what I want. Like, I want to be around everyone else. But if you go to TwitchCon looking for brand deals, it's never going to work, because there's 1,000 other people that are just like you. The best way to sell to get a brand deal is literally to look outside of the realm of what everyone else is doing and find something that is relative to you.
Or even if, like, I'll meet you halfway on that and go, if you can go up and meet somebody and somehow, without being a complete dick or dork, make a lasting impression on somebody, that might just be a way for you to open up a conversation years down the road. Like, there's no harm in going up and saying hi, having a genuine conversation, maybe talking about products and stuff, and then you could just leave. And you never know, there might be one characteristic about you that sticks out to that person that might stick with them, and whatever sticks with them might stick with their boss. So it's not like a total crapshoot, but it's like you said, it's going to be rough Tims for a little while when you're there.
Tell them, like, if it's G Fuel, go tell them something that you're doing. Like, if you have a community event where you play Fortnite with all of your viewers every week, go tell them about that. But don't sit there. Yeah, don't bring business cards and be like, hey, you know what? I've got 30 average viewers and I can produce X amount of sales for you. They don't care, because in reality, if they get someone like Dr. Disrespect, the percentage of sales that he can generate will overshadow you and 5,000 other streamers that look just like you, right? So there's no reason for them to necessarily waste the time. But every piece of work that I've done in my own personal life for, like, creative work has all come from word of mouth. And that's all because, like, you don't sell something based on what someone or what you can do, but what someone else potentially could, like, the potential of what that could do for them, right?
For sure.
So if they think of you and they call you up because they've seen what you've done in the past, or that you've just had like a 5-minute meeting with them and you said, hey, like, this is what we're doing with our community. They don't hear about from you in like a couple of weeks, and then they come back and they're like, man, we really need someone in that avenue. They'll think to call you. But yeah, you go to TwitchCon, hand your business cards out, do your thing. I'm not saying don't do that, but I personally think that go to the show to meet your community, because at the end of the day, what you have to realize is that behind all the usernames in chat, there's people, and all those people have jobs. Well, most of them have jobs. And sometimes, like, you never know, a brand deal could come out of someone that's been your moderator for 3 years, and all of a sudden he's he's marketing, CMO at a beer company. He's like, yo, Jimmy, I've been watching your streams for a while. I haven't been around. Let me hook you up with a local beer thing. So you never know. You never know. You don't know where sponsorships are coming from. The best way to do it is just to do your thing and then let them come to you.
Sure.
So real quick, I need to get a quick vote. We've been talking about White Claws all night. And I'll say fortunately for me, unfortunately for Bishop, I am on the Truly train, not the White Claw wagon. So in chat, can we get a 0 in chat if you like White Claws, or can we get a 1 in chat if you prefer Trulies? And if you want to put a 2 because of neither, and you're more on the essential oils train, then you can put a 2.
Or you just put 2 if you drink real beer. Like,
oh,
me,
come on,
right?
you enjoy seltzer, don't you? A little bit.
I've never had one.
Okay.
Really?
Well, next time you're here, we're doing fucking shots of Fireball, and we're also chugging Trulies. Okay.
All right.
What is it truly? Is it just like a White Claw?
It's the same thing, just different brand. But I think they taste better and they have better flavors. Well, we got a 69 in there. Okay. Oh, a lot of 2s. Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna say that Truly won. I'm not even gonna look at all the votes. Sorry, chat.
Chat, you're warming my heart right now. I just want you to know that.
I feel like White Claw is just watered down Mike's Hard. It's watered down with
yes,
Perrier. It's
and
Mike's Hard lemonade
bubblier.
with Perrier in it. Yeah, more bubblier.
Bubblier.
Bubbles.
So we started talking about the Fortnite black hole and we got distracted. Bishop, without cutting your topic too short, because there are some things I want to touch on before we end the show and we still have a Q&A. Fortnite, go.
So I looked at, so I'm really involved in esports on LinkedIn and in streaming on LinkedIn because there's a lot of people that talk about it, not people that know about it. So one statistic that I saw is that Fortnite had more viewers on their black hole event than any other time in Fortnite history. But beyond that, another small piece, and there's reasons for it, I'm sure, but another small piece for a lot of people that were talking about switching to Mixer after Ninja did it, and there's a lot of streamers that were considering that, Fortnite had more viewers on their black hole event, nothing happening, than all of Mixer combined.
Oh my God. We love Mixer
combined. We love Mixer.
By the way,
go to Mixer, try it out. And I think a big part of that is because a majority of streamers, and this is just me speaking, but I think a majority of streamers are playing Fortnite. And a reason that may have been is because people couldn't play Fortnite during that period. All that they saw was a black hole, right? So the majority of those big streamers like Tfu's, I mean, they're on Twitch, but you'd think that Mixer probably has parallels there. So there's only one channel to watch for this thing that's happening. So season 2 or something. What are they calling it? Chapter 2.
Chapter
Fortnite
2?
Chapter 2 is out. I used to play Fortnite back in the day. For anyone in chat that doesn't know who I am, I used to play a ton of Fortnite. I used to compete, and I gave up on it. And my teammates, Spades is still a pro. He's won like almost 100 grand now. And then Crispy, who signed with CLG, those are my two duo partners, and they went on to become pros in Fortnite. I was never that good. I gave up. So I'm like claiming fame with them, like claiming to be good at the game through other people. But I see season 2 came out, or chapter 2. It looks like the same game with a few interesting things. They have a new map. I think that's pretty cool. I like the one thing that I will say is that I like the fact that there's no patch notes. All the patch notes say is that chapter 2 is out and go check it out, because I think that a lot of like the competitive scene has been complaining about patch notes and all of like the specifics that have changed. So it brings people back to with this chapter 2 of Fortnite. It's bringing people back to basically the unknown of what Fortnite was when it was first released, which is what I think drew a lot of people to it. So it might provide an opportunity for people that didn't really get their foot in the door at first, to try the game out, which is like Naaackers. You try the game out without 50 14-year-olds that are fuel just gunning you down from above. It's unfortunate. I can't go back to Fortnite because I know I'll get absolutely stomped, but I think it's pretty cool. There's some cool stuff coming with chapter 2. As someone that played it in the past, I think I dealt with it, and it's a little too soon for me to go back to it. But it's interesting because Naaackers was streaming it a couple days ago, and it was cool to watch him try to get his first win. I think that's pretty badass.
Katie, have you gotten on the Fortnite train at all?
I have not, but I did have a friend who was like, will you play it with me? So I made a special case. I downloaded the game and I played it, and I didn't do awful. I got some kills.
Really?
He went down. I saved his life. And so
heck yeah.
We made it to, I think, into the top 10. And I was like, I feel satisfied now. I feel like I did the Fortnite.
Yeah.
I did the Fortnite.
I did it.
Now I'm like ready to move on with my life. There's so many people that are so good at that game that I feel like I don't have the time to get good. And so I tend to not play. Like, I love COD Zombies, love it. Anytime I play multiplayer, I just want to cry into a pillow because it's just people so good, and I'm just like, let me shoot you a little bit, please, before I have to respawn again.
So the reason that I started playing Fortnite, so I played yesterday and then I played again today, and today I actually got to second fucking place. I was so goddamn close to a win. I cried inside. I had no plans on coming back to Fortnite. And when I say coming back, we figured this out today on stream. I played up until Thanos was a thing. And I stopped playing like as that Thanos event was happening, and had not really played since then, other than one day where I downloaded Fortnite like 8 months ago. I died 7 times without getting a kill and then uninstalled the game. So I was talking to my buddy, Joey, about Fortnite, somebody that loves the game. And he said, well, with the new season, it's now ranked based matchmaking. And now a good portion of the lobbies are now bots when you're starting out. So when you get into a game, A, you're playing with people that are kind of around your skill level. And 2, there are robots that are easy to kill and can make you feel fulfilled inside. And I was like, oh, okay, I could probably get behind that, because that was always my main thing with battle royales. I am a decent FPS player. I can hold my own. I can, I do pretty good in Battlefield and stuff. But my thing with battle royale was I would play a game, drop, loot, run around for 20 minutes, get shot, die. Repeat over and over and over and over again. And I never got any practice killing people. And so I never got any good. And then because I was already, I can't dedicate as much time to video games as I used to. So you just fall behind as you go. And so I kind of dropped Fortnite, because every time I would play, like you say, you shoot somebody, they turn into a fucking Empire State Building, and then you can't see them and they're gone, and then you die. But with Chapter 2, I've been doing pretty well. I average anywhere from 3 to 6 kills. No, that's not true. When I get to like mid round, I average that amount of kills, but sometimes I'm the first one to die, when boots hit the ground. But I would say I did decent, and I think the community can back me up on that. We'll see. But I had legitimately a good amount of fun playing it these past couple of days.
It's good.
Word.
It's good.
All right,
Fortnite
moving.
sucks, man.
What? Did you say Fortnite sucks?
Let's move on. Fuck that game. It's garbage.
If I asked you to play, would you play?
If you asked me to play, there are very few people that I would go back to Fortnite, because it's like rage inducing for me.
Yeah,
I would go back and play with you 100%.
Okay, I thought you were about to say you are not one of them.
Yeah, you're not. You did not make it. I don't know. I think so. Like, just to tangent, just really quickly, I played World of Warcraft when I was a kid. When I was 11, I put thousands of hours into it. My mom actually kicked me off the game because she thought I was spending too much time. So my dad went in and changed the password on the account. I couldn't play it anymore. I was super sad, and I came back to it a few times. World of Warcraft Classic just re-released, and I've spent almost all my time. I stopped streaming completely just to re-embrace that, and that's like a return to like what I originally knew about the game. I think Fortnite's trying to do something similar with Season 2, where they're reintroducing it, but it's a little too soon, Like Fortnite, it's like we haven't had time to have nostalgia yet, right? Where Classic, World of Warcraft Classic, it's been like 10, 15 years. People are like, oh, let's go back to that. We remember that as the best part of the game. There's a lot of people in the Fortnite community that think that when the game first came out, within the first season or so, or prior to the first season, it was the best time for Fortnite. So everyone talks about that. And now we're going back and we have a new opportunity to relearn the game and to re-witness like how the game works. But I feel like it's a little too soon, right? I feel like it's like unveiling the same piece of shit Camaro the next year, right? They're like, hey, here's the 2011 Camaro, and then they big hype. And here's the 2012 Camaro. And it's literally the exact same thing with different headlights. It's like, I'm excited to not buy this next one. I'll wait 10 years until I can sell this at Barrett Jackson,
That's kind of happened with cell phones now, too. Cell phones are getting to the point where there are such minuscule advancements in technology in between. So it's like by the time the excitement of the previous phone has worn off, the next one has been rumored and announced. And then it comes out 6 months later.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool.
No one cares. No one cares.
Except for me and my fellow Apple sheep who get excited over every Apple product that hits the market.
The camera looks pretty nice. Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's a great phone. I've had a refurbished iPhone 10 for the past 20 months. So the upgrade from a not so great 10 to an 11 Pro, I'm happy.
Next level.
All right, cool. Let's move along to TwitchCon, Twitch, all the things that have been announced. I mentioned before, we sat. Did you sit for the opening ceremony at TwitchCon, Katie?
I did not.
Okay. What are you laughing about?
Making brand deals with G Fuel.
Yeah, I was talking to G Fuel at the time. No, I just never make it to the closing ceremony or the opening ceremony. Like,
okay.
I think we were at Cheesecake Factory when it was happening, and I needed food very badly, so I missed it.
Understandable. It was 3 hours long, including the Dragon Force concert, which was dope. And a little bit ago, Weenie said to her, I saw one message in chat from Weenie that said, yeah, but the party was lit. The TwitchCon party was fantastic. Not only was Blink-182 there, but Lil Nas canceled and Logic took his motherfucking place. And I did not realize that Logic was playing until I was standing in the crowd. And I think Vans tapped on my shoulder and he goes, yo, Naaackers, look at the sign. And it says Logic 8 p.m. And I freaked the fuck out. I was so pumped. So two people that I've been fans of for years, Blink-182 for decades. And I was in the crowd and I found out that Logic was playing. So I had an amazing time at the party. We all got fucking hammered. Weenie cried when Blink-182 played their last song. It was a great time. The party was fantastic. If there was I think next year, if I could buy a 1-day pass for TwitchCon and a party ticket, I would probably do that and just kind of hang around the city and stuff. Unless what would happen is we would decide to buy like a 1-day and then they would double the size of the floor and like all of these companies would jump on the bandwagon and be like, oh shit, I don't have a fucking ticket this year. Oh well. But anyways, a lot of stuff announced, a whole lot of stuff. And Jimmy, since you were most vigilant today and started typing things first, is there anything that you wanted to touch on before we kind of dive into the 4 cheese and 4 meat pocket?
Yeah, let me the first one, and I'll post a link. This, if you guys hadn't heard of it, Twitch is now testing out watch parties. So, and it's just for people. It's just for people who have Amazon Prime. So basically, you can watch certain select shows that are on Amazon Prime with your Twitch audience, and I suppose you can like stream it and watch it on Twitch, which I think is an incredible idea. And I mean, this is one of the things that my wife and I, when we were a long distance relationship, it was before we were married, but I was still in the military. And I used to be on the Pirate Bay back quite a bit. And I would torrent shows and I would download a couple shows and then I would send them to her. And then we would like sync up the show and watch the show together and then like be on a webcam, like MSN Messenger webcam or whatever.
Oh, you did the 1, 2, 3 play?
Yeah, we like 1, 2, 3, go. You know what I mean? And so then we would watch shows. Well, I think it's just really, I know that people do this already, and Katie yourself included, with like third-party sites, and you can do some of that stuff. But to have that feature finally integrated into Twitch, I think it's a brilliant plan, and that apparently is being tested by some streamers now. And I mean, I could see myself using it. I don't know about you guys. Katie?
I think it's completely fucking useless. I just want to stream my Gordon Ramsay to my 10,000 and sell sponsorships over the top of it. I don't know why we'd need this when I could just watch Gordon Ramsay on just chatting. I don't know why we need this. I think it's a good idea. I think it's cool. I know that there's a lot of streamers that have tried Rabbit and done stuff like that, like offline streams where they do like a movie night or something like that. And whether or not those are the most legitimate options, I think it's cool. I think I can't wait to. Sometimes I know that I'm sure that you guys have this problem where like you start your stream sometimes or you're about to stream, you're like, God, I don't know what I want to play or I don't know what I want to do. I can just watch a movie. Oh my!
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited.
Next year and a half of streams are pre-planned. Like I just have a list of games that are already set in stone. I never have that problem because when I go live, I'm accepting the fact that I don't have a choice and I'm playing what somebody else chose.
I think I'll use it. I don't like that you're kind of limited to what Prime offers, but at the same time, it's better than nothing. So I'll take it. There's some good stuff on there.
That's how I feel. I had somebody in Discord say that it's very exclusive. And I'm like, well, it didn't exist before, so it's more inclusive than it was. Yes, you were limited to what's on Prime, and you were limited to the people who have Prime. But I think it's a step in the right direction. Like, if you guys could pay, let's say you could pay $20 and you could stream any movie from Prime to anybody without them having to have Prime. Would you pay that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because I think I would. Like, I'd be like, yeah, let me put up the money. Yeah, for you could watch any movie that was on Prime and people who didn't have Prime. Now, my guess is that you have to have a certain amount of viewers, right? Like, okay, maybe your viewership is capped, where the first 100 people to join your stream are in, and you get like a passcode. And so if you have to refresh and get back in, you can get back in or something. But like, I can't imagine if you're Dr. Disrespect and you have 30,000 people watching, you can't pay $20 for a single license to watch a movie and then broadcast it to 30,000 people. But I kind of like that idea where you'd be like, yeah, the first 100 people in my stream, but then you get people that are camping your channel. And I feel like that would get really messy pretty fast too.
Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen. Gordo is officially available to Twitch streamers. Wow.
What?
Is amazing. It's on Prime Video.
No
you
shit.
can watch it. Yeah, good. This is Gordon Ramsay's bringing this to us. By the way.
Dude, Trainwrecks and XQC are going to be so happy.
XQC, Trainwrecks, Bean, all you World of Warcraft streamers, you guys are going to have a great time. Legitimately able. And I can, yeah.
I'm going to roll through some of the ones that you didn't bring up.
Okay.
I'm going to try to. Real quick. You already talked about TwitchCon Amsterdam. Twitch Studio, which is basically, I guess Twitch has their own streaming application now.
Yes.
I think that'd be great for new people, but the reality is, man, OBS Studio, in my opinion, is the way to go. And then I would imagine Slobs would be number 2 on that list. But if you are absolutely, if you're learning to stream, you're gonna have to figure out tons of shit anyway. You might as well do something that's gonna give you the most options. That's my own personal opinion, but I don't think it's bad that they're putting out something that makes it easier to stream. So that's becoming available. They're changing the creator dashboard. Some of you guys have probably seen that already. Twitch streamers.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I go to the default one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't switch over, but
and even when you switch, the next time you go back to it, it's back to the default.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Maybe because it's just still in beta. I don't know.
Bishop, Katie, what do you think of the new like dial or the new like button based dashboard?
I haven't streamed since WoW Classic came out, so Katie, you send it.
Fair.
Change is scary, but I also feel like I think once we get used to it, it'll be all right. But I personally don't. I'm used to the old one, so of course I prefer that. But it seems kind of confusing because I'm looking for things that don't make sense, and I don't know why we need an event list and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah, how many? Okay, do me a favor. Could you both open up your Twitch dashboard right now? I want you to count how many panels you have expanded, like how many of the different panels you actually have information showing. I have 1, 2, 3. So 3 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 panels to me right now.
I have 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Also,
and Katie?
3 out of the 12.
I have like 8 open, but it's because I'm lazy and I don't close them.
Okay.
I
So how many do you
really
actually use? Yeah.
I have Squad Stream open, but I don't use that. I look at maybe 3 of them, 4 of them.
Okay. So I have. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No. Nope. Oh my Jesus.
Did I just
No, go
assume?
ahead. Go ahead.
So I was just looking at it. I'm the same.
No,
as
wait,
Katie.
Naaackers, what were you saying?
Nothing.
But yeah,
Jimmy, go ahead.
Edward.
Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, let me go. Sorry. Hey, shut
Bishop?
up.
Yeah. Wait,
Shut your
Katie,
mouth.
go ahead. So I haven't closed mine down, but I just did it for the ones that I actually use, and it's 3. So it's stats, video preview, and stream information. That's all that I have.
Okay. So I have stream information, chat, because I always accidentally close out. I leave the chat one open because I accidentally close my chat window very often. And so I always like to be able to have my stream dashboard one open. I don't like looking at myself. So video preview is always collapsed. It's actually only 2 because I just expanded the raid and host panel, but I always just type it out manually in chat when I raid somebody.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
And I'm sure there's probably some value in those other ones. I just haven't bothered to look at them.
I only have community gift chest open because that's all I care about.
What is that? So I accidentally turned that on, and then all of these things started flashing, and I'm like, no.
I don't know. Does anyone know? Does Anyone at all?
I did it once. It's like if you have Amazon Prime, you can, and other people that have Amazon Prime, that'll give you like codes to get an extra skin on World of Tanks and shit like that.
Oh hell yeah, dude! World of Tanks.
Okay.
We love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's Katie. That's all you stream, right? Is World of Tanks?
Yeah, it's a World of Tanks streamer here.
All
So
right.
wait, I have a quick question. One quick question about the topic before this topic. Do you know if they're going to allow people to stream everything that is considered a Prime title underneath like the Amazon Prime Video, or is it only going to be Prime original content? So like series that they put together that are Amazon-based content.
I bet you it's mostly Prime original content because the ones that they announced that they were having available were all Prime original content ones. I'm pretty sure.
All right, just chatting.
I'm
Gordon
pretty
Ramsay's
sure.
not just chatting. I'm fucking stoked. All right.
Interesting.
You know, so I could be. I don't know though. I really that's my guess. So, channel points, which is already available to a few people and even a few streamers that I follow, present company included. Is coming to everybody in January, all affiliates and partner. I think it's cool because, you know, you can unlock an emote to use. There's all kinds of things. I think it's cool there's people who've had channel points for a while. I used to even use them, but it became too much of a hassle having a third party and running it through a bot. But having something that's integrated in Twitch that has some tangible things that you can use in chat, I think is a really neat idea, and I'm glad that they're doing that. New tools for mods, subscriptions in iOS. Hooray! We know it's more expensive because I'm stealing some of your thunder. Sorry, Naaackers.
Oh yeah, real quick. So they released on iOS only. You can now subscribe within the Twitch app. It is $1 more because of the App Store fees that all developers have to pay. And also, if you sub on mobile, you have to cancel on mobile. You cannot cancel subscriptions made on mobile in the web app.
So is it going to the particular, like if you're using an Apple device, does it go through iTunes Store?
Yeah, so the purchase itself doesn't, but because I think it's 30% of in-app revenue goes to Apple or something. It's a lot. And the Casey, tell us.
Casey, we need to know the numbers.
Google Play is 30%. Okay, thank you. So all the purchasing is still done within the Twitch app, but because they have to take a portion of their revenue and shift it over, it accounts for that extra $1.
Okay. That's pretty. You got one or two others. That's all I'm going to say. The last thing I'm going to say, and this is a PSA to all of you out there that are trying to go right away. Tomorrow, okay, what is today? October 20th?
20th, yeah.
Tomorrow, October 21st, around halftime of Monday Night Football, Star Wars tickets go on sale for Episode 9. I will be at my computer hitting the refresh button constantly, okay? Actually, you know what? The way they did it last time, they had like you're waiting in a virtual line to get in. It's actually really kind of impressive how because they've had so many websites crash. They kind of just put you in there. But I'll be buying a lot of tickets for opening night.
Weenie, are we doing that? Do you want to go see the next episode? I almost said the last episode, but it's totally not going to be the last, is it?
Well, it's the last of the sequential, like the Skywalker saga.
I thought it was dead already. I thought Leia died.
You shut your mouth, sir.
Don't you know Leia's space flying powers? Excuse me.
Oh, that's true. I feel like I don't know. It's kind of like WoW Classic. I haven't had enough time to miss it. You know, the new Star Wars movies. Those Star Wars, I don't know, man. It's like, how many wars are you gonna fight in the Star Zone?
You know what? You know what? You're not gonna bring me down, dude. You're not gonna bring me down. I'm gonna be hitting I'm excited. And the new trailer comes out tomorrow too. It drops at halftime. So I'll have something to watch 500 times between now and the movie opening.
So there's a reason to watch Monday Night Football now.
Oh, Stone's thrown.
Shots fired.
I can't remember if I talked about this on a podcast or my stream, but I watched episode 7 and half of episode 8 on my plane ride back to Detroit after TwitchCon. I was an emotional wreck coming back from TwitchCon and watching. I was tearing up. I teared up twice during Force Awakens, and then I teared up once watching The Last Jedi. I'm like, what is happening right now? I mean, I am a very avid believer that men also menstruate. It's maybe not as often, but every once in a while, you're just an emotional wreck, and there's nothing to explain it. And coming back from TwitchCon, trying to watch Star Wars, I was like, oh my God, I don't understand what's going on. I'm like trying to hold my tears in. Weenie's watching fucking like Alien vs. Predator next to me. Like, yeah, I'm totally watching manly movies too.
Weenie's crying to Alien versus Predator.
Crying of laughter. But yeah, I would like to go see that one in theaters. I saw Force Awakens in theaters. I saw Rogue One, which is the best Star Wars movie, in theaters. And then I didn't see The Last Jedi. Well, I saw it in theaters, but not on release day. I saw the other two on release day. So I think that would be a good way to wrap up the saga, not the saga. Do you say GIF instead of GIF, Jimmy?
I said GIF.
Okay, so it's the saga trilogy.
Shut up. You know, I've seen every Star Wars on opening night in the modern era, with one exception. But I was deployed to Iraq, so I didn't get to. But Lucasfilm sent us a copy to watch. We got to watch it 2 days after it released in the States. They sent us our unit a copy that we got to watch overseas, which was kind of cool of them. You know,
that is cool.
Yeah. So.
Wow, they couldn't have given it to you guys beforehand? That's some bullshit.
Well, actually, we reached out to them. It was like, hey, we've got a bunch of Star Wars fans. We're here, in Iraq. And sure enough, they contacted us back. They're like, hey, we're going to send you guys a copy to watch.
Nice.
That's so cool.
I watched Revenge of the Sith overseas 2 days after release, which is kind of neat.
That was most likely VHS, correct?
No, it was a DVD.
It was? No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thought you were older than you were, Dad.
2005. 2004 when it came out. No, it was 2005. It was 2005.
When Revenge of the Sith came out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yes. 2005. 14 years
I thought
ago.
they all came out before I was born.
Well, the originals did.
Katie, how do you feel about the Star Wars?
Oh.
How do you feel? Do you think the Star War needs to be over?
She's a Trekkie.
I am a Trekkie.
Are you? Oh,
I
no.
love me some Star Trek. I've seen all the Star Wars movies. I felt weird about the Kylo situation in the last one. But
Shirtless Kylo.
Shirtless Kylo, mind melds, some weird stuff there. But they're fun. I love Star Trek. I think that's just where
I am excited about Picard coming out.
Me too.
I cannot wait for that.
So it's not that you don't like Star Wars. It's just that Star Trek took your heart first.
Yeah, I watched it with my dad growing up. So it was like I was like a little kid, and it was just my dad and I. My sister and mom were like, "Screw this show, I don't want to watch it." So it's just my dad and I. We'd like sit and watch Star Trek: The Next Generation. I don't remember what night of the week it was, but it was every night of the week. And I remember when it ended, it made me so sad.
Yeah,
but yeah. So it's like more
They got them all.
like a special memory.
They have them all on. I think it's like they might have them all on Hulu too, but I know they had them all like on the CBS All Access. Like they have all the Star Treks. And
it's on Netflix at least for right now. I don't know if that's going to expire. Yeah.
The Next Generation, easily the best Star Trek ever.
The Star what, Jimmy?
Star Trek.
Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Katie, say Star Trek.
Shut your whore mouths.
All right, hold on. Katie, one more time.
Star Trek.
Now, Jimmy.
Star Trek.
Star War.
Moose Tracks. Do you think they're the two wars? Shit, I told you I was gonna. Oh no. Was it Star Trek? Oh, so I watching The Last Jedi again recently. I was super convinced that the throne room battle was one of the coolest Star Wars scenes ever. I just thought it was a great scene. The choreography was great. We were talking about what we didn't like about our voice earlier. One of the things that I don't like about myself in current day is that I can't watch a movie and see it for what it is. I am like blinded by the Hollywood. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the things that other people sees, and maybe it's the people that are way too critical and they just don't enjoy anything kind of attitude. But like, I watch movies and I watch TV shows and I miss things. And I think this is like the root problem of like, I hate that I'm not smarter and I know that I'll never get smarter. And sometimes like I watch movies and I miss shit. I saw that scene. I thought it was awesome. And then some dude had like a 5 or 10 minute rant video on YouTube that picked apart that entire scene and made it seem like it was the worst fight scene ever. And then I felt differently about the fight scene afterwards. I'm like, not only does this motherfucker see things that I don't, my total attitude about this certain scene has been swayed by somebody that I don't even know, like, or respect. And that kind of pissed me off. And now I'm kind of like going back to like, okay, this is a really cool fight scene, but I guess according to everybody in the world, it's not.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see the Hobbit movie where they have the dragon? There's like it's one of the Hobbit movies, and they have the dragon in the coin room. And in the theaters, that scene had like it had like 12 frames per second. It was terrible, and it drove me crazy. As someone that's like produces animations and like, I always notice the mistakes in movies, but I think more relative to what people in the chat like. Do you guys know? Like, do you have any games that you played as a kid? And this is for everyone, that someone else ruined? Because Naaackers was talking about how like a scene that he enjoyed, someone else talked about it and they ruined it based on, some over analyzing it and ruining it because, things weren't perfect for him. And then for me, I played Grand Theft Auto 5 and I had a buddy and we were both playing it by ourselves. We were in chat on Xbox and he was complaining so much about the garage feature when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out that it just ruined it for me. And I didn't want to play it anymore.
That has happened. And I can't remember what for. Like what game?
Yeah.
Oh, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky on first release, not the most recent release. The first release we were playing, and there was somebody in Discord that was just, he had like an AMD Athlon, like dual core, some shit, like 4 gigs of RAM, not a dedicated GPU. He tried installing No Man's Sky on his PC. And so I'm sitting there trying to like enjoy this game. And all I hear is this person like yelling and screaming and bitching and like whining. And I didn't play the game again after that for like a super long time. So yes, that has happened to me.
Kind of, I guess No Man's Sky for me too, because I was really excited about the second release and then maybe be able to play multiplayer. And then people said they were going to play with me and they ended up not playing with me.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, you're here.
Don't mention me, Jimmy. I do. Oh, okay. I owe Jimmy.
I'm totally joking with you, Katie. It's not
gaming session because I totally played with like for 5 minutes and then I was like, sorry.
Not my game.
Now we know Katie's answers is now No Man's Sky has been by Jimmy. Just
yeah.
No, I don't remember what I was doing, but it was like an incentive for people to unlock. And Jimmy jumped in, and I think my friend Tyler jumped in. We're like, let's do this, and then something happened.
No, it was just one of those streams where there was a lot of shit going on, and so you didn't really have time to interact. It's okay.
So Jimmy
I
just
totally
messaged
did
me.
not take offense. I just thought it'd be funny to poke the bear a little bit.
He's right though.
So 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago, when I asked Jimmy, hey, do you have anybody that you would like to have on the podcast? And his thought was, I'm finally going to get back at that bitch. I'm going to have her on the podcast.
This is my moment. Yeah, I don't blame him.
And he stuck it out. He waited for 2 hours to drop that bomb.
Wow.
I'm all about the long game, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That long dick game.
The long game. That's what we do.
Oh, man.
I had Kerbal ruined for me, too, by chat.
What?
Really?
Kerbal Space Program. I love that game. If you guys haven't played it, it's fantastic. It's basically a space simulator. Like you start and you build your first craft, you get into the atmosphere, you come down, you crash, you kill a bunch of little tiny green people, and you try again, right? It's a fantastic game. But there's so many experts that come into chat when you play that. It's like, I'm sure you guys have all played these type of games where you start streaming and a bunch of people you've never seen before all join chat and they're all experts on the game. And it was ruined for me. It was like, I was just trying to do a simple mission, trying to get into orbit. And people are like, God, you are the dumbest human being ever. You can't even get a fucking spaceship into orbit, you dumbass. Like, I've been all the way to the moon. I've been to Saturn, you pussy. You know, I'm like, dude,
that's
I'm
one
just trying to get something
Katie,
into space.
Katie handles so well. I see in her streams, and I it's all I can do to I'm just like, oh my gosh, this would drive me insane. There's so many people, and she got a lot of great community members. But it seems like there's a lot of times when Katie's trying a new game, I see you deal with the know-it-alls in chat a lot, and you handle it so gracefully. Where I'd just be like, nope, banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
It's always people who are like, oh my God, like they don't play the game, by the way.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
just know how to play it. And
Right.
I'm like, are you streaming right now and talking to a chat and also learning basic tutorial things?
Yeah.
I played Geometry Dash like as a one-off one day. I'm like, this will be fun for everybody. It was the most toxic chat I've ever had. I'm like, I'm a square jumping through music. Everybody calm down, please. But yeah, I get people even with like horror games. Like sometimes I played Emily Wants to Play 2 recently, and it's difficult. You have like 6 enemies you're trying to, each with special things. And
Mhm.
people are like, you're not going to be able to do it. Or they'll tell me like, oh, this, you know what? I don't believe that you'll get it this time. And there's just no grace, I guess, with letting you do it and hopefully
Yeah.
succeeding. It's just different when you're
Yes.
streaming it. Like if I was fully focused, I'd probably do it 15 less times.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't even played this game before. I know exactly what to do. This is the easiest puzzle ever.
Mm-hmm.
I get that with like building games where you're meant to like experiment. Factorio, fantastic game. If you haven't played Factorio, it's so good. It's basically you build a factory and then you break it down and you rebuild it so it's more efficient. And I had that game ruined because I wasn't allowed to explore it by myself. Like I wasn't able to like test something. And that's like the fun of some of those games. Like if you know the exact formula to play Minecraft is pretty boring, right? Like if you know exactly what to do, it's pretty boring to do. But if you're exploring and like trying out new things and you get to see that for the first time, I love that about games. But like simulator games, I have a really tough time now. Like even playing those, like I'd rather play them off stream because otherwise, and it's not even necessarily people that are in my stream, but there's people that like, will specifically seek out, especially Kerbal. They will specifically seek out Kerbal streams. And there's a lot of like, there's no like right and wrong with the game with testing out and figuring out how to do things. But that's part of the fun of the game. Like crashing a ship into the side of the earth at 500 meters per second is super fun. And it's like, oh shit, okay, I had too much weight in the back or the front of the ship and the aerodynamics were fucked up. But it's like, if someone's like, oh, that's never gonna work, it's like, what, the exploration part of it? It's gone. Like
Right.
if I know this thing's gonna crash into the center of the earth, like what's the point? So
Well, for me, I play a lot of story games, and like Katie, one of the things that I hate, and it just annoys the shit out of me, is I don't really play a lot of horror games, but I do it. I'm doing it for October, and I might do 1 or 2 throughout the year. Because I don't get scared of horror movies, but horror games just freak me out because it's just the immersion factor. I hate when I'm playing games like that, and you'll see some shit in chat pop up like, "Oh, here comes this part."
Oh,
You know what I
God,
mean? Or
that's the
shit like that,
worst.
and you're like, "Come on, man! I mean, can you just not wait till it happens? Do you have to
Right.
really? I mean, you're not really spoiling something, but you are.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Spoiler, yeah.
Like, it's just like, come on,
can't wait for this one. Can't wait for what's
Yeah.
coming up around this.
Ooh,
corner.
he's about to hit my favorite part.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Has she
this
met
part really
so-and-so
got me.
yet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie,
Has
what
the
is
big
your
guy shown up? Yeah.
the pink eye?
No, the big
No, like
guy.
as some
Oh, the
guy
big guy.
showing up. Yeah.
The pink eye's coming.
Yeah.
Katie, what is your most backseated game that you have ever streamed? Oh my god, such disdain.
I know Geometry Dash is just sticking there. Oh my god, there's been so many. And even though I'm like, can you just let me experience this?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people who just come in and just spoil stuff for me just because I think if I play a game on stream, I know always in the back of my head it's not going to be the same experience if I ever played it off stream, obviously.
Yeah.
But I always prepare for like I'm going to probably get something ruined at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I think Resident Evil 7 was pretty bad and I really liked that game. But yeah, I think
was
that one
that-
got pretty backseated.
Was that the first one that was the first person shooter Resident Evil?
Yes. Yes.
Right?
I think,
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that they did in VR, the Biohazard
Mhm.
one. Where,
I
like,
want
walk
to
into
play
an
it in
old house.
VR. Yeah.
I played it on VR on a PlayStation, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done. I actually had one of my roommates at the time. We got it on PS4, and he worked in like the real estate industry. And it's funny, one thing I remember about that game is that he was like walking in and something was about to kill him. Like I knew that it was coming ahead and like I wasn't going to spoil it from him, but he's in the VR headset and he stops and he like looks to the left. And I'm like, oh God, what did he see that I missed? And it was a water heater. And he's like, wow, that's a really nice water heater. And I was like, that's what you're getting out of this VR experience. Like there's like, but yeah, I don't know. That game is pretty fun, but you should definitely try it. But yeah, I don't know. That's interesting because there's certain games that like are on rails, like storyline games. Sometimes you get away with making like there's certain like decision games that you have to play. There's like these Storytale games. I think that's the developer, Storytale or something like that.
Oh,
and I've noticed
Telltale?
Yeah, that's the one. I've noticed in those games specifically, people will talk about like what happens if you choose the certain route, and it's like, man, that's like the untold tales of being a streamer. Like the tough thing about being the one tough thing about being a streamer is that people ruin like the games for you. You know,
video games are different for you.
There's the nice element. Like I've really enjoyed streaming. Like when I first started streaming, like I enjoy I've always been the kind of person where I want to have Netflix playing or something on the side that's distracting me from the game, but that's just something on the side. And I've always felt that chat is that for me. It's something that I can break away from the game and use to like to have some sort of interaction outside of the game. And I've really enjoyed that. But it's like for certain storyline oriented games, I've found that there's like I have a few specific people that come in and talk about it, but it's like they go and watch other streams and they see what happens ahead, and then they come in and they tell you about it, or they come in and they're like, "Hey, this is the best way to do it. This is the best build." And like certain games where you build your character to be the best, like in Borderlands 2, I even ran into this, like what the specific min max is for having the best abilities in the game. It's like, man, I just want to like that's the fun to me. Like I like tinkering and figuring out what's like the best, the best setup. And
hey, I know you just started. Do you want to find the best gun in the game? No?
On elite.
Yeah.
So so you said Resident Evil 7 for Katie. Bishop, you said Kerbal Space Program.
Kerbal, yeah. And Factorio, yeah.
Okay. And then Jimbo.
Like for spoiled games?
Yeah, so like what has been the game that has brought in the most amount of backseaters?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I invite it sometimes for tips, but like it ruins stories sometimes because people don't understand the difference between tips to beat something and stuff that's like story or spoiling something in the story. So pretty much anytime I play horror games, it happens. Like Resident Evil, it happened in Dead Space a little bit. You know, it's just, but it's just kind of one of those things you just kind of, you know, you got to deal with as a streamer. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know, it is.
My number one most backseated game is Polybridge. So it is a building game in a certain aspect, but holy shit, I had no idea there were so many Bridgineers that existed in my community because everybody knew what to do. And here's the funniest part about that game is everybody has their way of doing it, but you can literally break your bridge into 4 different pieces and put them all underwater and then bring them all back up again. And that fucking car will cross the bridge. Like there is no right way to do it. There's a best way if you want to end up on the leaderboards, but fucking Polybridge. And there's another game that has stood out to me recently. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, Polybridge was my number one. Breath of the Wild has been kind of teetering on the amount of backseating, but not enough to really bug me. I've just noticed that has been a game where there's been a lot of people that just love the game so much. And that's what it really boils down to, right? Is like, they just love it so much and they're sitting there and it's just all fucking bottled up inside and they just want to share it. And to that, I respect it. But it's like,
I found myself to be that person sometimes, and I try to cut myself off. Like sometimes I go chat and I'm like, try this. I used to do this a little bit with Fortnite back in the day, and I was like, I need to just shut up. Like I need to shut up because I think there's 2 types of people. There's people that join the stream to see your reaction as a streamer. They want to see how you react to the things that they experienced, and then there's people that want to experience the game over again in their own way, right? So they're trying to guide you through it in a way, right, and be like your guiding light. So I feel like it's hard to accommodate to both people. I'm really good at it because I'm terrible at reading my chat, right? So I miss like 80% of what everyone says. So it's spoilers. Try it. I'm never gonna see it. But yeah, it's hard to accommodate to both people, and not to just bash those people. We're not saying.
And I know, and that makes me angry. I was just saying, like, for someone like Katie, who I know is, super nice individual, and she's always been very, very genuine on her streams. She's one of the best at reading chat, despite when it's flying by a million times an hour. I'm always impressed that she can keep up with it. And I know she sees the backseating and the spoilers, and I'm in there and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And the mods can only do so much, and she's got a great mod team, but it's just like,
well, it's tough too, because like my mods don't play all the same games too. Like if I played Elite Dangerous, we were just talking about it in chat. I really like that game. I'm a newbie at it, and people come and be like, if you just do QRS and then you fly through this gas cloud, you'll get some fuel. And I'm like, I'm just barely figuring out what to do right now. Can you give me some space to like do that? But it's just like that for the entire 4 hours I play it.
Right.
And it's not that they're not like kind and welcoming and stuff, but they're also telling me everything to do. And then they're arguing with each other about what I should be doing.
Oh no.
That makes it almost unplayable at times. So I'm like, I get frustrated because I'm like, I can tolerate it to a certain extent, but I'm like, this isn't fun when every move I make is judged. Just let me enjoy the game and let me have fun with it, and I'll figure it out as I go. But 2 hours in, I'm not going to be an expert at this game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I found that with WoW. Like I got Casey into WoW, like stream, and we played it, and like I was someone that had played it a ton in the past, and I was guiding her through it a little bit, but it was like more chat that was trying to tell her exactly what to do, And it's like it's just tough. It's a tough experience. But before we transition to the next thing, why we're all here, like Katie, why didn't you play No Man's Sky with MiddleAge?
I think I did a subathon. I've never done a subathon, and people could donate, and then I would do a Just Dance song. So people were doing it, and so my husband would come in, and I was wearing my Star Trek onesie, and we would do a song that someone picked as like a thank you. And then as we started No Man's Sky, I got a bunch of lovely gift subs, and so the entire time I think I did 2 hours for No Man's Sky, and the entire 2 hours was taken up by Just Dance.
Yeah.
So
oh shit!
I was awful friend to Jimmy.
I was just mining carbon all alone.
I think him and Tyler were just like,
I totally understood. It was not. It was fine. I was just excited to play the game.
I know. It wasn't because I was like, oh my gosh, Jimmy wants to play with me.
Yeah.
No. I would never do that to him. It was just because it was during a bracket of time that just didn't quite work out for me. And then I just never played it again with him because I'm awful.
It's okay. He won't forget. I mean, he'll forget.
I'll totally.
You'll never forget this.
Real quick question for everybody here, and then we will go into the official Q&A. Katie, you first, if you can think of it quick enough. What is the one game that you loved so much that you were so excited to see one of your friends play on Twitch? Like, has there been any game that you just adored and you were so excited for somebody else to play it for the first time?
Oh my God, that is challenging because there's so many I've played. I have like the games like Outlast that I played. I more so like just seeing people react to that one.
Okay.
But I think if I'm being like, I don't know, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is a favorite game of mine, and I love when people play that.
I've never even heard of it.
It's by a company called The Chinese Room, and it's a walking sim, and you're trying to figure out a mystery, and it's like no one plays it. And I think I got it for free on a PlayStation Plus game, and I played it, and it was just really, and it was one I didn't play on stream, and I had a really nice experience with it.
You had a great time, didn't you?
I had a great time. No one yelled at me for doing something wrong. But I think Outlast is always fun for reactions. Just hearing what people think about like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is good. I can't think of the right word. I enjoy hearing what people thought about that one.
Bishop?
Okay.
My favorite gameplay experience, watching someone else play a game. I watched Naaackers play Fortnite. That was terrible. Naaackers, I love you, but I hate Fortnite. I hate Fortnite enough to not want to watch. Like I've watched so many like really good players play it that like not that you're not good, but it's like it's so hard to watch anyone play Fortnite unless they're like the best at it. It's kind of like PUBG for me in a way.
Right.
But to come back, because I just threw shit in your face and
That's
said,
all right.
I don't like watching you play Fortnite, but watching you play Getting Over It was the greatest experience ever.
Oh, I love
watching
that
you
game.
play that, because I know how frustrating and the curve of how that works and how the game plays out. That was probably the most fun I've ever had watching someone else play. And I think at that point, at first, I gave you a few pointers, and then after that, instead of like instead of like pushing you to like do things the right way, I think I was just started to talk shit. I was like, oh man, that's unfortunate, bud. Like, you just fell back down to the bottom. You got to try that again.
I fucking turned off the narrator, and then I got Bishop in chat just shitting on my chest left and right.
So that was fun. I think that was probably easily the most fun I've ever had watch someone play, because it's like, I feel like with certain games, it's based on having had your own experiences and like, I don't want to say cringe, but like you feeling negatively about that game. Like Getting Over It, I expected myself to hate it, and I expected to, like, when I fell to the bottom, to be like, fuck, I hate this game, and to get frustrated. But I just kept trying and be like, okay, I'm making most mistakes myself. But I feel like playing a game, it's Casey knows the term better than I do, but it's like Schadenfreude, or it's like a German word for, Schadenfreude or something like that. And it's a term for watching other people experience pain, right? Or experience things that are negative.
Oh my goodness.
Me watching you experience the negative part about of Getting Over It was exciting for me, you know?
Okay.
And like I love watching that. I also enjoyed watching you play Fortnite for that same reason, and I sat and watched you play it because I enjoyed watching you try to understand what was happening as I did back in the day, you know?
That's fair.
So both of mine are you. So I hope that makes you feel good.
It does.
Me, it's two games come to mind. One is any of the Mass Effect games, with the exception of Andromeda, because they're some of my favorite games of all time. Were you gonna say something, Katie? You look like you were gonna say something.
No, I just was playing that game recently, and I just had an emotional reaction to it. That's fine.
It's so good.
No,
It's so good. Yeah, I've watched a lot of my favorite streamers play through Mass Effect, and it warms my heart to watch them play what's my favorite game series ever. So, and then Ninja Gaiden. Now that I've actually managed to beat that game on NES, and even before I beat it, like, I enjoyed watching some of the retro streamers play that game, or watch people play and rage through that game, thinking it's a baby's game until they actually get into it a few levels. So Ninja Gaiden, I enjoy watching no matter what, other streamers, and then also Mass Effects. Yeah.
Okay. I can't think of one for some reason. And maybe it's the booze. I don't know. But instead of trying to waste time just thinking about it, I'll just move on. But it was good hearing your answers, because it's something that's super intriguing, is like when you have a game that you love so much and then you want to watch somebody else experience it for the first time too.
Hey, do that thing with your mic reset again.
Oh, is it crackling?
Yeah.
Do-do-do. Don't ever buy a Focusrite
audio issues is
solo.
is satisfactory, because
me too. I enjoy that. I enjoy that all. You're not a real streamer unless you have audio issues.
No, I don't think so.
This is true.
Naaackers, like, oh, there we go. There you're good.
Hello.
You're good.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the question and answer. I can't. God fucking Stream Deck. I didn't authenticate Twitch with my Stream Deck. So
you're such a loser.
All of my emotes and my commands and some.
Hey, everyone, can we get a loser from everyone on the channel right now?
Please,
you freaking loser.
No,
Katie.
I love you all. Don't do it. Truly's for life. White Claws to suck my dick. Is it Mark? Oh my god, that's so loud. Is it /marker or /mark for a mark in chat?
Not
you guys don't use markers, do you?
No, I never use those.
I'm the loser.
Those.
You're the loser. Who uses any sort of Twitch feature besides the stream key? Okay, we don't need any of this. Okay, it.
It's marker. Okay. Hey, if I could get a mod that could do /marker or back forward.
Hold on, let me type it in chat. /marker. Got it. We're good.
Fans, when you see me waving my arms, it's time to do the Q&A, okay? All right. So we have quite a bit of questions here. We've kind of gone a little bit long, so kind of abbreviate your answers a little bit if you can.
Yes.
First question from MiddleAgedStream. It says, Bishop, how do you hug people with arms that are 12 feet long?
Oh, it's for me.
Yeah.
It's a complicated thing. Having, this disease that causes most of the length that should be in my legs go to my arms. It hinders me from doing much of the movement with my legs, but ultimately being able to reach up and hug people that are much taller than me, only being, 4'2". It's fantastic. So thank you so much for your question.
How much did Rare pay you to be in the original Donkey Kong 64 video game?
I actually, so believe it or not, I know this is a meme, but I was actually, one time I used to race go-karts, right? And you sit in your seat and I was complaining about, I was like, man, I can't get enough turn in the wheel. And the guy that ran the kart shop, he's like, well, it's because you have T-Rex arms. And I've been super self-conscious about my arms not being, but I feel like they're kind of long.
They don't
look short.
No, they look normal.
Like compared to my head, they actually look.
Do you know where that I put that question in there because you had that optical illusion where you were reaching out to the dog from like podcasts ago. See, I'm playing the long game.
I see what you're doing, Jimmy.
Yeah, man.
I'm only on this podcast to ask you why we haven't played games more, Jimmy.
I know.
You son of a bitch.
And I'm on this podcast to ask other people why we haven't played games.
Yeah.
It just goes in a circle.
Jimmy, we've known each other probably as long as you've known Katie, right? 3 years, 4 years?
I think I might have known you a little bit longer, but not much.
Okay. So we've only played games on stream together one time. We have hung out in real life more times than we have played games on stream together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Naaackers,
We'll change that soon.
Together.
Yes, we are. You want to play some fucking Fortnite?
You want to play some Fortnite after this? I'm down. I'll download it.
Oh, shit.
Not after this. Whenever you want. You call.
Okay.
Here's the thing. After I streamed Fortnite earlier, I fell asleep on the beanbag for like what felt like 2 hours. So there's a chance I'm not falling asleep until like 2 a.m. tonight. However, if we get to the part where we're about to win a game, I have to kamikaze because I can't win not on stream or else my community's going to be very mad.
I only play with winners. Katie and Jimmy, do you guys Fortnite tonight? Or do you guys
maybe?
I killed someone once in Fortnite, so I am a winner.
/winner. All right, next question comes from Vaughn. What is the most awkward streaming moment you have ever had while live? Jimmy can't talk about streaming and address.
Awkward moment. I think I had a stream one time when I was my first. Well, this is kind of a combo. It kind of deals the same, and I'll go quick because I know we're going over on time. But one, I streamed one time I was streaming for like an hour, and my mic was muted, like an hour, like seriously, like an entire hour. The other awkward moment was me realizing that I had my Blue Yeti, my first microphone I bought when I was done streaming on console. I had it facing the wrong direction for about 9 months. About 9 months, and I could never get the freaking sound to sound the same, and I couldn't figure it out. Well, it's because it was facing the wrong fucking way. So yeah, so awkward on me because I'm an idiot, but I guess that's how you learn about shit. So whatever, that's mine. What?
Go ahead, Katie.
Everybody's smiling and nodding like they're.
I'm trying to think
like
what's
a big joke.
Katie's got one.
It's just an awkward piece of shit. I feel like the entire thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about all the things I've done that are really awkward in general.
Yeah.
I did, I think it was during the stream I stood Jimmy up from playing video games. I don't do Just Dance streams. And so my husband had like a shark face thing on, and I had my Star Trek onesie on, and we were flossing. And I have this Saturn V rocket that's a Lego. And of course, my camera's just not going to focus. And we built that on stream, and I knocked it over with my hand during a mid-dance. And I felt really embarrassed for some reason that I had no situational awareness. But it's okay. It's built and fine. It's not broken anymore.
Super quick. This is like a super tiny moment in time, a super long time ago. Do you remember me clipping and showing you trying to do a Shaggy impression from Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
That has to be one of the funniest things that I don't know why it's so funny to me. Your impression is so on point, and you break out in laughter in the middle of trying to do the impression.
Wait a minute.
I
Why
feel
have I
like-
not heard this impression?
I feel like it's not on point. I feel like that's a lie.
It might not be on point, but it was just you again with you having such a great voice and being so prominent and you trying to do it and then laughing midway through. It was just so fucking funny to me. And I remember clipping it and just watching it over and over, and I could not stop laughing. I will have to see if it is in my clips of other channels, because I'm pretty
forward that to
sure
me. I gotta see
that
that.
Yeah,
is-
can we just stop this podcast and take a look at that? Or?
I did at
No.
one point. Someone was like, "Can you do a Robert De Niro impression?"
Oh no.
And that was
Oh, no.
really bad. I tried to like do the face and I couldn't, and then try to do the voice, and that was really uncomfortable. Like that was really awkward.
I don't even know how I
Such
would
a
do that.
distinct voice and face that you really have to know what you're doing to try and do a De Niro
Yeah.
impression. I imagine.
It was impossible for me. I also,
I have it.
oh god,
All right, throw it in
Wait,
chat.
is this question about a awkward moment?
Mhm.
Yes.
Most
Okay.
awkward. I have two good ones. One of them is
need more.
like I was playing with a bigger streamer than I am. That's like a partner playing Rainbow Six, and I was in one of his parties, and I was also streaming. And I'm always really self-conscious about talking to chat in the heads, like over Discord while someone else that is also streaming is in the party, right? And I remember I thanked someone for following, and he was like, "Oh, hey, bud, thanks for that too." And I felt so like terrible because I like it's just an etiquette thing for me not to like talk about streaming stuff while I'm in a group with someone else's streaming at the
Sure.
same time. Like not to be like, "Hey, bro, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. Let me just shout out that really quick and derail everything that's happening in everyone else's streams because I'm just fucking getting sick. $25. Oh my god, this is my butt." Insane. So I try not to do that, but I've done that a few times. And I have like a system now because I've fucked it up so many times that now I have a system where if I talk to chat over someone else's stream while I'm in Discord, I just do a shout out to them. I'm like, "You know, get the fuck out of my channel. Go over to his. This thing's done." Like I've done that so many times that it's like it's embarrassing. The only other thing that I can think of off the top of my head was when Casey and I met through streaming, and we didn't tell anyone that we were dating or seeing each other or anything like that. We're both going offline for like 2 weeks at a time, and we're both randomly at the same time. It's crazy. No one, either of our communities could figure it out. Bunch of morads. But like we were both going away at the same time, and we tried to do like this reveal at my apartment. And as soon as we switched to that camera, it cut out. So like we set up all this hype to like do this like reveal that we were dating and stuff. And it wasn't supposed to be like super hypey, but just to do something fun for the community, for the people that hadn't seen us in a while. And then we switched to the camera and it froze. So it's just her and I going,
Oh no.
yeah. They're like, "Well, that was awkward." That's kind of how streaming goes. But yeah, I'm sure she remembers that. But
I'm gonna play this clip for the audio listeners in the future, and then I'm also gonna post in chat as soon as I'm done. So radio silence for 4 seconds.
need more voice crack. Hey, Scoop! I can't do it. I did like.
Okay. It's in chat. Scoop. Oh man, it's so fucking good. I'm sorry. It's great. Need to be proud. I'll give you all 5 seconds to listen to that.
It's not good.
I just listened to it. It's
I don't know why. It just like it
that's
cracks
good.
me up every time. What game were you playing there? Dread Out.
Mm-hmm.
Any good?
It was very broken, so no, I don't
Okay.
recommend it.
Fair
It
enough.
wasn't scary, and I mean, maybe I'm more immune to it now, but the spook level was not high enough for me.
Okay.
Mm.
I am not easily embarrassed. I cannot, and this could just be my bad memory coming back to haunt me. I can't really think of a time where I've been embarrassed. One time where I've been embarrassed because of how stupid I was. This was one of the times where I got the most intoxicated on stream. And this was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I accidentally showed my PayPal 2-factor authentication code on desktop capture. And I mean, like, joke's on you. You know, there's probably $3 in there, motherfucker. But I remember showing that on stream, and I was like, I'm never getting that fucked up on stream ever again. And I haven't since then. And when I do drink, as soon as I hit a certain point, I either just stop drinking or I just stop the stream, because that is not ever anything that I want to happen ever again.
Moderation is important, kid.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, next question comes from Vaughn again. As streamers, do you ever wish there was a place where you could talk with other streamers more regularly to exchange ideas, get feedback, and have a place to get advice to deal with hard issues as a streamer?
I mean,
about this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what every streamer's got their own avenue for that. Whether that's, you know, with other streamers, I know most people use social media a lot. You know, through variety of Discord or whatever. But the truth is, it's just we're so damn, not that anyone else isn't busy. That's not what I mean. But if you're streaming and you're working full time, you just don't have a whole lot of time. There's not a lot of time. Like, I love, you know, watching. There's so many people I love on Twitch that I get to watch. But most of the time, for me, supporting those people that I love is I'll come in, I'll say hi for a bit, and then I'll leave a lurk window open because I got other stuff I've got to do, and I only get to spend maybe 20 or 30 minutes tops hanging out in their channel, you know, and I'll leave it on so they get the view. But I mean, it's just, depending on the time of year, it's just super hard to do. And so that what he's talking about, that extra time, like, it's just, where do you find the time? You know, it's hard to do. It's just hard to do.
No, I agree with Jimmy, because I work full time. I don't usually have time for like the stuff that people get upset about on Twitter. I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like,
Yeah.
I very much am like, I stream and put a bunch of hard work into the back end, and I try to avoid drama as much as possible. And like, I've gone to Jimmy with questions in the past. Like, I only go to like a few trusted people if I ever do have to like bounce ideas off of people, but I do my best to try to figure it out on my own before I bother anybody else. Just because I feel like I have the ability to do that, but sometimes you do need to bounce ideas off. But I'm okay just picking select people to just talk to occasionally.
Yeah.
Katie, this is a question that I've asked multiple times to multiple guests, and when I've talked privately with people. You probably have always seen these tweets of streamers saying that like everybody is so fake. Everybody that I've run into is only there to get what's theirs. And I personally have had the exact opposite experience. What has been your experience? Have you ran into a lot of those fake people, or have you? Go ahead. I don't want to explain any further.
No, I feel like majority, I don't know if it's just because there's always going to be some fake people, but for majority, a lot of the people I surround myself with are very genuine and real people. A lot of my friends work full time and also stream. And so I feel like we have that common ground to kind of, I feel like I have a little more disconnect with people who stream full time just because I would love to just content create, but I also need health insurance and need to make sure like bills are paid and everything. So I feel like overall, though, I've been very lucky with the people I have met, and they're good people. And I'm very fortunate for that, because I see those tweets too, and I'm like, I don't know what group you're hanging out.
Right.
They're
But
Fortnite. They're playing Minecraft and Fortnite. They're wondering why everyone's fake.
Yeah.
Don't you talk shit about Fortnite. I'm a pro now. It's been 2 days.
That's true. I feel like Twitch as a platform, like comparable to YouTube, it's hard to sit and do something for 8 hours. And if you're a piece of shit, it's hard to cover up the fact that you're a piece of shit. You know, it's very hard. Like if you're going to stream 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, like I was a full-time streamer, even a part-time, and you do 4 hours a day. I feel like the people that are like, man, everyone's so fake. It's like, have you ever been to their streams? Like, yeah, they're assholes. Like, of course they're going to be assholes. But like, you can genuinely find someone that's nice, because in reality, if you can sit and watch their stream for, you know, more than 2 hours, you're probably going to see a little bit of who they are. I'm sure people like over exaggerate who they are. I met Jimmy. Jimmy's exactly like he is now. He's just a beautiful son of a gun with a mustache. But I think that like I'm a little bit, I over exaggerate myself on stream, just as probably everyone does, just to make things a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I feel like those people that there's a lot of people, because I've seen that a lot too. But it's like in reality, of all the platforms you could be on, I feel like Twitch caters to the people, caters to people that are more like themselves more often. Because if you're not yourself, you're going to get exhausted trying to stream 8 hours a day. You know, playing a character 8 hours a day is probably it's going to be hard to do.
Absolutely.
And if you can't see through other people's bullshit, that might be more reflective on yourself than on the people that you're trying to surround yourself with, right? And yeah.
Vaughn, what I will say briefly is that if you want a place like that, you probably are going to have to create it yourself. I would very much so go the route that both Katie and Middle Age have gone, where find some trusted people that you can ask those types of questions. There are some people who will say, hit me up anytime for any questions. And there's other people who that's just not their MO. So I would try and find some people. I know when it comes to technical stuff, my DMs are open all of the time. We have multiple channels in Discord that are dedicated to streamers only and technical support. You can ask questions anytime. If you want to bounce off ideas, you need help setting something up, that is 100%. Like, my Discord is talking about food, tech support, and what's happening on Twitch. Like, that is the stuff that I like to focus on, and cooking, of course, that comes with it. So you're going to have to go out there and search and see if you can find an area like that for yourself. If not, try and create something. Try to create a Twitter DM, a channel in Discord, something like that where you have like-minded people that you can, have that conversation with. Jimmy, you got it.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Platform Play asks, and of course you don't have to get too specific on this, guys. Bishop and Katie, what do you guys do for your full-time job?
I'm a medical coder for a hospital. My last day was on Friday for my current job, and I'm starting a new medical coding job on Thursday this next week. So,
congratulations.
I'm excited about it. But I'm a medical coder.
I was previously a content marketing manager. I've worked for a few different tech companies doing animated video and marketing related things, but now I'm freelance for the time being and just producing content. I have a customer that's creating a golf network. So I'm doing a whole series of videos to kind of demonstrate that, because ultimately most of the people that I work for are trying to obtain funding. And instead of making a PowerPoint, they just have me do everything for their branding and everything like that. So I'm just a graphic savant in ways. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Oh, and
I'm a drug dealer. The best way to describe it, I deal drugs, kids. It's straight. Okay, I just deal drugs.
I know. I made that question joke earlier that Naaackers probably get to in a second. The ICD-9 coding. I remember that was one of the first things when you started streaming on Twitch. It was around the time I'd been streaming just for a little while, Katie, and I remember coming into your stream and we were just talking live, and you mentioned something. And then I had mentioned like the ICD-9 codes or something too. And you're like, how do you know ICD-9 codes? And like, well, I was a medic in the Army. And so I remember that was one of those things we talked about early on, way back when. Way
back in the day.
Way back in the day. I think it was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. Question done.
This one comes from Satan's PR girl. Sorry. How do you guys feel about microtransactions?
Okay with it as long as it's not something that's like hiding gameplay or something that's that gives an unfair advantage to someone. If it's just for skins and stuff like that, totally fine with it. Yeah, totally cool.
Yeah, I agree with Jimmy. Like, if it's because you want to make your character look cool or have like glowy eyes or some shit like that, that's fine. I feel like if you want me to spend transactions to play your game, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah. I think anything that's purely cosmetic, I can agree with. I think microtransactions in general alleviate the pressure for having to buy something for $60 up front, like a free to play game, to ultimately get you on the back end. But yeah, like Katie said, I feel like certain games, they like pay gate your time spent in the game, and they're like, hey, you died, motherfucker, so buy another gameplay for 40 cents. And it's like they tend to do that a lot and prevent you from like continuing to progress in the game unless you buy something. And I think a majority of people hate that, and it bugs them. But if it's a small inconvenience fee, people are more likely to pay that than buy the game for $60 up front. So it depends on what the game is. It gives you the opportunity to get in the door, and try it without it, busting a hole in your wallet. I know, like, if I played Fortnite at first and I spent $40 on it, I feel like I still would have enjoyed it, but most people wouldn't, get into it if they had to pay up front to try it out.
As long as it does not affect your gameplay or give you any sort of advantage over anybody else. Like I said, most of it, like you all were saying, cosmetics, totally fine. I'm fine with, I consider, I don't really consider DLC to be a microtransaction, although with Rocket League, they kind of took DLCs and microtransactions and kind of like molded them together. But yeah, for the most part, they can suck ass, but they're fine when they are done correctly.
I like them when I can afford them. They're nice.
That really does matter a lot. Next question from Ember Strife. Question for everyone, but mainly Katie. What is the absolute scariest game you've played, and why was it scary for you?
I mean, I know it's really cliche, but Outlast was the first game my community convinced me to play. And I have like a clip compilation of it, and I don't know that kind of fear anymore, but like it really scared me. And I think the experience was memorable. So I feel like that nothing will ever top that because it's the first scary game I've ever played.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I've heard a lot of people say that Outlast, though, that it was a really scary game, especially the first time playing it. So I don't think you're alone. For me, it's Alien Isolation, without a doubt. That game fucked me up. It took me almost 2 years to beat that game because I literally could not play it. It hurt me to play the game physically. Like, I got so nervous playing that game that I got sweaty and just nervous, and I felt ill, physically ill. That's how bad that game got me. So yeah, it definitely, that's the only game that's ever made me feel that way, was Alien Isolation. So okay.
I'm gonna go crazy and say Minecraft, and like it being like eventually like realize that you're by yourself and like underneath it in a cave somewhere, and you just feel kind of alone. And you're like, I feel like games that there's unknown left. Like I don't know what's left in the game. Like when I first played Minecraft, I didn't know what spooky bullshit there was going to be. I feel like that wigged me out. And like there's cows and chickens, and like you have like a farm, and like the farm can kill you, like that.
Oh god, they're spooky farm people. They're gonna kill me, chop my head off.
I am gonna have to agree. Here's the thing: jump scares get me, but scary games do not genuinely make me feel uncomfortable. Like they don't affect me. Scary movies, on the other hand, and I've talked about this on stream before, how like way back in the day, I would watch a scary movie, and then that scary movie would then become the plot of my dream that night, and I would basically just relive the horrors of said movies. So even to this day, I just don't watch horror movies because shit's too fucked up. Games, I get jump scared, but there's not a game that has just made me feel like, oh my god, I'm so terrified of playing this game, I don't want to play it. However, I think sometime in November, I'm going to play Visage because I've heard some really good things about that. And I'm like, maybe that's the game that can make me.
Katie, you played it?
Scream.
That's a really good game. That one actually did. It's kind of like PTS, but it builds good tension. Chat did remind me. I do like Outlast, but I have an irrational fear of sharks. And there's a game called Shark Attack Deathmatch 2. And that game actually scares me because one of my fears is that I will be attacked by a shark. And that game makes me live that. And I've done that for charity incentives because I will scream like a little girl, and it's not pretty. And I will do that for charities. I would never play that game for fun.
Okay. I also I have a fear of being a victim of a shark attack as well.
Is it because you watched Jaws too young? Because that's what happened to me.
Okay, so super, super quick. When I saw Jaws for one of the first times, I don't know if it was the first, but it was one of the first. My friend's dad, they lived on a beach, and he put a projector screen in the water, projector on the beach, and everybody's seats were in the water. So you sat on a bench or a chair with your feet and sometimes up to your knees in the water while we fucking watched Jaws.
That's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, just like
Is this before or after you were locked in the basement for 3 hours?
With oils, essentially.
the only reason I
Did you
made it
have essential
through that
oil?
movie was because of my oils. Okay. Yeah. So that's that was super fucked up. Sean's dad. Come on. What the hell was that?
Dad.
Oh,
I tend
man.
to get in certain games, like it's not specific. Like I like the science behind scary movies and games and like how they build tension, hit you with the jump scare, or they just like leave you. They build the tension and they drop it on you with no jump scare, so you're like just sitting there all freaked out.
Yeah.
I like the science behind it, but what scares me more isn't necessarily scary games, but more when, let's say you're playing Left 4 Dead and you're about to shut the door behind you and you're like that close to success and there's something right behind you that's going to get you. I recently had, like, I was playing WoW and in WoW, there's like, you run across the world to get to these instances. It's like this gateway where you go into a dungeon, right? And I was getting killed by the enemy faction over and over and over again. And I got 5 feet away from the entrance and I was getting stabbed in the back by a rogue and it made me like squeal. I was like, ah! Like, because it was so scary to me. And I was like, oh, I almost fucking made it. But that was like I feel like little stuff like that, like, it's like if you're in water and there's a shark behind you, you're just about to get out of the water and you're just almost there, but it gets you. And you always have dreams like that too.
Yeah.
And it's like those little moments are what get me. And it's not reserved to a specific horror game or whatever. It could be anything. That's what gets me.
Next question from, I'm sorry if I butcher this, Enlasaurus?
Ankylosaurus.
And okay, I'm just gonna let
Call NLA.
and NLA. Okay, we did New Orleans. Middle-aged stream. Where are you amputating from? Did I miss
What?
that? I think I might have missed that joke.
No, it's because he asked what the ICD-9 code for an arm amputation is.
Oh,
For
yeah.
long arms.
Yeah.
But I looked at the ICD-10 code if you guys are interested. Well, NLA did too.
Okay, I did miss it.
S48.019A, complete traumatic amputation at unspecified shoulder joint, initial encounter. So there's a fun fact.
Perfect. Perfect.
job.
Now
Jesus.
you know. I'm not familiar with the new codes, but I do remember the old ICD-9 codes from back in my army days. So
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah.
I have some questions that I'm not going to ask, but next question. From M Overture, for everyone, has there ever been a time where a game has been so spoiled by chat, either story or exploration game, that you never came back to finish it?
Wait, what? Say that one more time.
A game that was so spoiled or backseated that you didn't play it anymore.
I think Curveball for me, I got into a kick of streaming it because I was really interested in like the potential of what was possible in that game, that and Factorio, and having people like tell me specifically what like the min max was, like input output for like the input materials for an output product bugged me because I knew, and it just kind of ruined the exploration. So those
Okay.
games.
And Fortnite. I mean, I knew what happened after I won the game. I mean, like, what am I playing?
Your mic cut out there for a hot second. It's been cutting in and out a little bit.
Has it?
I don't think it's a noise gate because you're always speaking pretty loudly, but
I think it's
Yeah.
because his pop filter's not fuzzy enough. Is probably the problem.
Yeah, it's a little.
your
fuzzy.
cat's not dead enough there,
It's
bud.
coming alive. It's coming alive.
Katie, how about you?
There was a game I started called Dear Esther, and chat was making fun of it so much that I decided that I didn't want to play it anymore, and I stopped playing it. And this was like 3.5 years ago, like when
Okay.
I first started streaming. And it's because I actually wanted to experience the game. It's very similar to Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, so I may have been up on my like high horse, like this is going to be transformational for all of us, and they're like, oh, look at the boat. And so I just stopped playing it, and then I never revisited it on stream.
I've never played Polybridge again. So I can blame it on that. Yeah, I don't know of any games that I've just been so not about it because of how much chat backseated that I didn't come back to it. So I don't think I have an answer for that one.
I don't either. Although I mean, like, there's some that are annoying to me, but yeah, I haven't had one. But I guess that's one of the advantages of variety streaming is you don't ever really stick to one game too. You know what I mean?
This is true.
You can just go on to the next game.
Jimmy, did you have it in XCOM? Did you have that? I felt that it kind of like reared its head a little bit, and then all of a sudden I was totally fine.
It happens sometimes. Honestly, it doesn't really bother me because I usually would just ignore it. And if there's someone that's coming in, I don't really care. I'm so bad at that game. It's like it's one of those things that I don't really mind tips because that's not like where story's involved.
Yeah.
So, and if someone comes in I just ignore them or just get them out. So, but no, that hasn't really bothered me so much in that game. It's usually only story games where that's ever an issue for me. And, you know, it's not too bad, but it rears its ugly head from time to time. So.
Okay. Last question from Conbot. Is there a hobby interest that you have that you randomly love that could be considered off-brand for yourself?
I don't know what off-brand means.
So something that doesn't involve streaming, or, I mean, let's say not Twitch. Conbot can probably expand, but maybe it means something not involving
really
on Twitch.
On stream, really, or something.
Something that you wouldn't normally see yourself doing, right? So if you owned a nail salon and you were really into painting toenails, right? People wouldn't know that about you based on your streams and your what you normally.
That's surprisingly specific.
Yeah, I feel like it's time to tell people, Jimmy. It's time to tell them about your nail salon.
Well,
right,
I guess
I'm gonna have to go first because I have no idea.
I'm confused because it's an interest that you wouldn't normally do, but if it's something that you wouldn't normally do, is it an interest?
Maybe something. I guess something that you're really into that you don't share or do on stream, or because you can't, or whatever. Maybe that would be
Essential oils.
I watch Jimmy's stream from time to time, and I don't tell anyone. Is that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are similar to you.
So he says, like, for instance, I fuck with interior design for no reason. So I guess maybe something that someone normally wouldn't peg you for. Maybe just kind of like just a different hobby that you love, but not something that you involve with Twitch.
Hang on.
For those audio listeners, Middle Age Stream has stepped away from the desk.
You guys go ahead. I'm going to save mine for the end.
Okay.
I make these little, I find rats in the street and I stuff them and I make little, like framed rat people.
Framed rat people. I'm going to have to think. Katie, you have anything?
I mean, I'm pretty much an open book with my stream, so I feel like I don't have anything that I'm like, oh, I'm hiding this big secret.
Right.
I do weightlifting classes.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
You're a vegetarian.
I curse a lot off stream, and I started making when I first started streaming. I was very family friendly, but I'm kind of a sailor off stream.
Really? Are you still that way?
Yes.
Okay. Does it kill you inside to do so, or is it totally natural now to just
say it?
I always say a bad word.
Yeah.
Say a poop mouth. Do a poop mouth right now. Just do it. If you use your poop words, listen, this is a safe space for your poop mouth, all right?
You're calling it a poop mouth. I feel like so I don't know why I started watching streams and like people didn't curse in those streams, and I didn't realize that people were like cursing on Twitch. And so I had already started, and I'm like, what if my nephews watch? So I know, but I do curse outside of stream quite a bit, and sometimes it slips out. Like I was playing Emily Wants to Play today, and a fuck will come out or shit because I can't. But I don't know if you can hear this, but I can. I can do that now. So if I can go, what the, and then people don't know that it's
okay
saying bad things, but I do.
What's better is if you actually time it out like Sushi Dragon does, where it doesn't even match up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just slightly off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Back in my Jehovah's Witness church days, they used to tell us that we weren't allowed to listen to censored versions of songs because even though the word was bleeped out, your brain still fills in the blanks with said swear words, and therefore you are sinning against God. and that was bad.
True.
So technically, you're still swearing, Katie.
I'm still going to hell. No, I'm just I don't know why. It's just like a habit now, so it feels like wrong for me to say curse words on stream. I know it's not, but it's just I've trained myself to be like, I can't do this here. So
It's
not hurting.
it's probably better to honestly. It really probably is better to not, and you're really going to be able to garner a larger audience that way. And it's
You're
probably
being a good
something.
fucking person, okay? This is some.
well,
For me, I'm the opposite because of my job and what I do. I can't be cursing all the time. So I feel like when I'm on stream, I want to curse all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's my time where I get to just kind of let loose.
it's interesting because I'm like, I have my cup of tea and I'm like, all right, we're gonna play a scary game today, and there's like awful things happening in these video games. There's like blood on the walls, and I'm like, how was your day? Like it just doesn't. I think there's a mismatched correlation there, but yeah. Follow the blood trail, but I won't say the F word.
Yeah.
Look at this.
My
wonderful
fucking
blood trail.
tea's too hot.
Wow, it's so colorful.
Yeah, the colors are so bright.
I don't know. I really like all of my main hobbies and main passions I bring to Twitch, like the LED projects, the keyboard building, the video games, the podcast, all of my like woodworking and handyman projects that I do outside of Twitch, I document and then I post to YouTube. I really like, these are my things. These are my hobbies. And I really can't think of anything. The only other thing that I enjoy, that I've really started to enjoy lately, that I have done on Twitch once, is bowling. I really fucking like bowling a lot.
I really like beating you at bowling.
You like beating me? Jesus Christ. Listen here.
At bowling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, let me rephrase that. I like destroying you at bowling.
That's a little out there. I think we could reel it back a little bit.
Really? Really? Is it out there? Is it 5 strikes in a row kind of out there?
But did you win that game?
Yeah, I won that game. I kicked your ass.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the scores because I think you did great, but I don't know if you won.
Oh no.
So
no.
I have a I'm cheating because I read chat, but I have a pastime. Down below me is a beautiful street, and it's a pretty populated street here in Portland. And there's a left-hand turning lane that turns onto the freeway. And I sit here pretty much 80% of my day and watch people fuck up the turn and like just create an unrealistic amount of traffic. And there's another set of windows over there that I walk over to, and I literally play it for Casey. Like, Casey, this guy here in the Mercedes, he's breaking the rules. Like, he's like cutting this guy off. And like, oh my God, look at this guy now. And I spend half of my day, or 80%.
You're basically already 68.
Yeah, I'm basically, it's like my front lawn. Like, I watch so many people fuck up this left-hand turn all day long, and it drives me absolutely crazy. I'm probably only going to live to like 33. I was going to say 35, but I just saw a guy turn from the second to last lane, and it's driving me fucking crazy. Like, I just sit here all day long and see the inefficiencies of the city, and like, I'm just so frustrated by it.
Oh, man. All right. And with that...
Wait, no. Last thing. You didn't let me finish. Amara said I was going to go last.
Anyways, thank you guys for coming out.
Hey!
Yeah, fuck you and your bowling scores, bitch.
Yeah, fuck you and your bowling bullshit.
Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
I am a champion speller. This right here is a trophy. 1989 second grade spelling bee champion. I did not buy this at Goodwill, as I've been accused of in chat several times.
Bullshit.
And I'm a very good speller, and I easily notice spelling and grammatical errors.
Chlorophyll.
What? Chlorophyll.
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 That's
Chlorophyll.
right. That's right. That's the one.
Spell Star Trek like you say it.
STARTREKLIKEYOUSAYIT.
Wow, that's impressive.
I didn't catch that last. You went too fast for me. I caught up until the last word.
So yes, I am a champion speller, and it's a hard road to live being a champion speller, but I wear that badge proudly, and I get to show this off whenever I feel
Spell
like.
misspell.
MISSPELL. P-E-T-R-S-P-L-L. Misspell.
P-E-L-L. You lying? You're lying to us.
Oh.
You
Well,
Are you-
sometimes they-
Are
Wow.
you like a spelling bee Kama Sutra where you spell out the sex moves before you engage?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, yes.
I thought so. I knew there was a certain depth of Christmas caroling that you hadn't explained before, and now that we've reached it, I'd consider me satisfied.
It's crazy because I thought Jimmy and I were a lot alike, but in reality, I can't spell anything, so we're nothing alike. Like I can't spell any word. Give me a word. Go, Jimmy. Give me a
Word.
word to spell.
Loquacious.
L-O-Q-U-A-S-I-S-H. Loquacious.
That was a valiant effort.
That was pretty good. All right, now that the Q&A is over, unfortunately, the show is also over. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us during the podcast. I did not intend for it to go this long. Katie, I don't remember how long I told you that the podcasts usually go for, but it definitely went a little long. I'm not going to apologize to either of the guys.
This is what happens when you don't play with Jimmy, goddammit.
He's going to keep you stuck in that seat. That's what you get now. You're stuck.
So what we're going to do one final time is have everybody go around the room, or we're going to go around the room and have everybody say their social media. If they have any streams or any events that are coming up, please take that time to say it. And then we'll close this bitch down. So Bishop, we'll start with you, bud.
Just follow me on Twitch, BishopGP. That's it.
My name is Jimmy, aka MiddleAgedStream. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram at MiddleAgedStream. MiddleAgedStream on Twitter, like I said before. Champion Speller at FarmersOnly.com. I do Wednesdays and Saturdays. We're finishing up Until Dawn right now. That'll probably be done either Wednesday, or if we don't finish it Wednesday, it'll be this Saturday, and then we'll have time for one more spooky something before October's over with, and then we'll be moving on to some other good stuff.
What game was that?
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn?
Until Dawn. Are you making fun of my accent?
Yeah, I am, because you're saying until. You're saying Star Trek? Track, as in like running track, and until.
Someone from Michigan is going to talk shit about accents. Are you
shit.
kidding me?
Are you kidding? Yeah, exactly.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Are you kidding
Yeah,
me,
this
dude,
guy.
right now?
This guy. I quit.
Do I have an accent? I don't have an accent, do I? Sorry.
Sorry.
Milk.
Milk.
I say milk weird.
Do you?
Milk.
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 It's like milk with
Milk.
an E. And
Yeah.
it's relentless. They're like, yeah, milk, Katie, milk. And I'm like, I'm saying it how I always said it. Like, it's not new to me. But apparently I'm a
Milk.
weirdo. So, milk. I can't say it right.
Milk.
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 I can't.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Say milkshake
Milkshake.
and say pill.
Pill.
Now say milk.
Milk.
I feel like I'm just now realizing this. I used to listen to Dr. like at night, right? His Nightline or Dateline or whatever.
Say Dr.
And
Drew.
after-
Your mic cut out again.
Oh yeah, Dr. Drew. Yeah.
Okay.
The show on, or it was just a
Dr.
radio
Dre,
show.
yeah, he's a rapper.
Yeah, Dr. Dre. Yeah, he's great. I used to
Dr.
listen
Dre,
to the
too.
radio show at night, and after the show was over, there was always like these PSAs that were all medical information, and Katie has the voice of the person that would read those out.
Really?
Yeah, that's literally her voice. I just realized this.
Oh.
It's not a bad thing. No, it's a fantastic thing. It's good.
Yeah, I haven't ever recorded any of that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Flush together my words from stream to,
Yeah.
make it happen.
That's funny.
All right. Katie, you're up next.
My name is KatiePetersPlays. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram under the same name, but not on Twitter. On Twitter, I'm PlayKatiePlay. So come say hi to me. I'm just doing scary stuff for the rest of October. And I'll be doing the Scarathon the 25th. I don't know when this comes out or anything, but I'm going to be doing a scary game, raising money for charity. If you want to come see me do silly things.
Is
For a bit.
One day event?
It's a one-day event. I have a 2-hour slot, so I'll be in the morning on Saturday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, you said the
Man, I'm gonna be
25th,
at work.
26th?
Gah.
Why do you? Yes. I was yelling at myself. My brain just doesn't know dates anymore.
Okay, I just
the 26th.
Saturday morning. Okay, what time?
Saturday morning. It's going to be at 10 a.m. my time, which is Mountain, so noon Eastern.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Almost had a brain.
Eastern.
Yep. I'm super smart. Remember I was talking about earlier about not being smart as I wanted?
I just screwed up 2 dates, so.
My name is Naaackers. You guys can obviously find me on this very channel, or Twitter and Instagram at Naaackers with 3 A's. Thank you guys so much for coming through and hanging out during the podcast. I know it was a long one. I had a blast. Katie, it was super awesome having you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us and giving us a massive chunk of your Sunday. We appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. Thanks for inviting me, Jimmy.
It was awesome, and you totally made up standing me up on No Man's Sky. So you don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel bad about it anymore, okay? I will probably only mention it at least 12 more times.
Everybody watch for a Jimmy Katie collab soon. We're going to be playing some No Man's Sky, so watch for that.
And World Cup 2020, Naaackers, BishopGP, Duo Squad. So
that's what I'm talking about. Yes,
Yeah.
We're going for it, dude.
The Fortnite World Cup, brother. Let's get it.
If you guys want to stick around to raid another channel and spread the love, I would really appreciate it. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I believe I'm stalling while I'm looking at my calendar. Next week on the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast, Reanimator is going to be our special guest, and that is going to be a 1v1 podcast, and that will be on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, thank you guys so much for checking out the podcast. If you want to stick around for a raid, that'd be dope. Otherwise, you all have a fantastic week, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.